up, buds? Welcome to Weed&D, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brendan Allen McClanahan. My buds, call me Bam. So good to see you guys here tonight. Thanks for making it out for July 4th. I do live on the outskirts of Las Vegas, where people do tend to fire illegal fireworks. So if you hear some pops and explosions, it's just production value. It's just I planned them all, and you know, sometimes we gotta thanks Searscape for the Searscape. Thank you guys for being here, man. We've been raging here in the story. Like we had a wild sesh last time. We had a death of sexy Drew Gall and 3 sexy birds. There was 4 sexy casualties last week. So we're stoked, guys. We're gonna be bringing you some of that high fantasy. And yeah, man, I've got, I had my first shows as King Arthur last night. After a pretty fast rehearsal process, they put 90 minutes of rehearsal in total. And I was the king for 2 shows. So it was a lot of fun. If you're ever in Vegas, check out Tournament of Kings. I'm either the bad guy, Mordred shooting fire, or King Arthur. So it's, inside you there are 2 wolves. Thanks, guys. It's so pumped. I'm so glad to have my favorite people here to do my favorite thing my favorite way. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce, hold on, I got to do it right. Introduce my dear and wonderful friend, Brenna. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing great, fam. Hello, everybody. It's me, Brenna Folger, but if you know me as Pickles on we, haha, the monk, the cuttlefish monk that is a teddy bear. And I like to think about teddy bears, which make me think about my childhood, which make me think about movies that I ruined by like rewinding so many times because something made me laugh so hard. Para exemple, Sean.
The tech gets included in the circle. That's
Para exemple. In Fern Gully, there's the scene where they're like on the mushrooms on the tree, and at one point he's like explaining something about being human or whatever, and he's awful at it, and so Batty's character says, "Awesome use of the language, dude. Awesome use of the language." So, and I loved it so much, I thought it was so funny. I think I rewound it like so many fucking times just to hear him say like, "Awesome use of the language, dude." And that got me good. That got me real good. Drew!
Oh, man.
It was my birthday. Today's America's birthday. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Yeah. Happy birthday, America. Thank you. Happy birthday, America. It's Drew. Lucy Lamore up in the house. Level 8 Blood Hunter. Not like I showed you.
Ow, ow, ow.
I'm gonna pass that over to you because it's going out. Yes, I didn't really have one of those things that I rewound until it was like ruined, but I know that I watched a bunch of like tape that I almost ruined. Probably Miss Doubtfire.
Yes!
Hello!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm absolutely
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure
drive by
everyone-
fruiting.
Yeah, it had the squigglies that would go up and down it like
The tracking.
Oh yeah, by the time I
yeah.
was done
Going
with
back.
it. But yeah, great movie. May he rest. Don't want to bring up, that bad shit, but
First firework.
yeah.
First
42. I just turned 42. So
Yeah, baby. Making it look good.
yeah, not too shabby. A little hungover today, but
So everybody take
I'll live.
42 hits.
42
42 hits.
All right.
Shoot. All right.
Good night, guys.
This has been fun.
But yeah, anyway, happy birthday, America. Nicole?
Me!
There
Oh
it
my
is.
god,
There
I
it is.
just smoked so much weed at one time.
2.
This would be 3. Give
I
that
smiled
back.
so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Unger. You know me as Shaymira, Shay, or Enra. I am a changeling rogue, a soul knife of my magical daggers that are psychic energy. I'm stalling because I'm trying to think of a movie that I rewound so much that I ruined the tape. I feel like Beethoven 2 Because I really
Solid.
loved the
Solid.
mom and the babies, and so I would rewind a lot to rewatch them. That's what I got.
that's a good one.
Thank you. What about you, Jake?
Oh shit!
Shoot, pop, poop, magical
Is it lit?
fibers.
I might have to relight it.
It's gonna be lit.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, it's gonna be
Oh,
lit.
it's gonna be lit.
Oh, it's
unlit.
unlit.
Shouldn't it be?
Ooh. Thank you, Nicole. Jake Taylor here as Zymock Ivrecula the Inquisitor, or Mog, the level 8 human variant necromancer, as we learned is part changeling.
Yay!
Wow.
Represent.
He's changelingy.
Changelingy.
Changeling.
His mother's side.
Which is
And I think
Yeah.
here you go. The moment that I rewound that damaged the tape, like the tracking started going on, and there was the Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, when it's the projector room scene, because it's already funny. It's already funny when he's like, but then I lost my ever-loving prepubescent shit. Like it was already going there with the
Yeah.
but when he stands up and he's just so done with all of his shit, and it's the hi-ho silver,
Yeah.
my constitution was broken. I was absolutely done. And I'll still do an ugly fucking laugh at that scene.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
Him in the car, like riding around and like.
I always think of
Yeah.
Grandma, the lights! The switch right there!
Yeah.
Quick, hit him!
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah, you, Bam. What VHS did you kill?
All right, I have like the public answer and the private answer.
Excellent.
So the public answer
Roll for it.
is I honestly maybe the movie I've watched more than any other movie. I have friends where our text chains back and forth are just quotes from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
As a child, I remember like my whole idea of comedy shifted. And it's when they're doing the Men in Tights song, and they're like, "We're men, manly men, we're men in tights." Yes. And dude, it just, I was like, I've never seen like at the time like manly men be like get into the dance. And it was just such a funny thing that like totally just broke my little comedy mind. And so I was like, I remember I would go back and I was like, why do I like what is it about this that's so good?
Right.
And it's like the setup is them being like, "Ugh," and super burly, and then they're all so sharp and perfect with it.
And it's
And dude, it crushed. My private answer, which I'll only tell to you guys.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
not like we're streaming on the internet right now.
right. We're
There's
not.
a little movie called Lawnmower Man. And in Lawnmower Man, it does not hold up technically. If you go back and watch Lawnmower Man, it doesn't really hold up.
It's
There's
like
a little
playing Final
scene
Fantasy
where
VII.
Lawnmower Man takes some lemonade over to the neighbor's house, and she takes the little Lawnmower Man upstairs. And through the blinds in the window, as they zoom out on the house, there was a boobie. And bro, I was like, it was like I had the tape, like, but yeah, boobies.
Give it up for Titty Prime. Shout out to Titty Prime.
It was like the first time in my life I realized I was like alone in my own space. No one knew about this. And so it was like my little secret. I would go and be like, and just rewind it and watch it. Like, there's a boob and flashback. So, but eventually it did. The tape would like had a weird problem. Like you'd see the
hiccup.
screening lines and
Yeah.
stuff because of just like the overuse
The
of
wear
that
and
scene.
tear.
So
That's
just
how
between
it's
us, just
Yes.
just
Be kind to yourself. Rewind.
rewind.
And rewind.
Rewind.
And
I said
rewind.
rewind.
And rewind.
Rewind. We won. So, just in case you were looking for a boob, check out like the 1994 classic Lawnmower Man.
One boob,
And
though.
just go ahead and fast forward right to the lemonade scene.
It's a good boob.
It really isn't a great boob. It's not even like, you know what I mean? Like, at the time.
All
Boobs are
boobs
pretty
are
great.
great.
Yeah.
All boobs
Yeah.
are pretty
No,
great.
trust me.
All boobs are great.
Yeah.
I'm a big old fan of boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Big old fan.
Beauty.
To boobs.
To boobs. All letters up to boobs.
3.
All right. Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I said Abe Lincoln. Hold the reins. I know. I literally know that entire movie by heart. So if you ever want to just talk to me in just quotes from Robin Hood Men in Tights, it will work.
You've met Mel Brooks, right?
I have met
Yeah.
Mel Brooks.
That's so
Abe
cool.
Lincoln.
I
Happy
was-
belated birthday to him, too.
to him as well. Yeah, Mel the man, bro. Yeah, and it's like I've met some celebs in my time in the entertainment space, of course. Mel Brooks is like the one that was like, when you think about what it might be like to meet Mel Brooks, it was exactly that. And he did like a stories thing where he would like get a giant arena or theater and just tell stories from his life, his incredible life. And he, dude, was on. I think the show was only supposed to be an hour and a half, and it went like 3 hours. Relatively up there in age at the time. This wasn't that long, like maybe 5 years ago. And then after that, he would do the meet and greets. We were the last of the meet and greets. So like everybody else had to get out in 5 minutes. It was like go in, get your handshake, get your signature, and then leave. But since we were last in line, they were like a little flexible with it. And we had a sketch comedy group, Mother Fuppets, and we were like telling him about it. And he was like, oh, maybe I can join you guys and play. And we were just like, it was just him being nice, but we were all like, yeah, Mel, yeah, that one, I just, and could you say Mother Fuppets one more time just so I hear Mel Brooks say the name of our sketch comedy show? But he was incredible. He was such a sweet, amazing man, and it was like
nice.
All he hears all the time from all comedians is like, thank you, you influenced my comedy. He responds to it like it's the first time he's heard it ever. And I heard 10 other people say it before we came in the room. But it's like that is like a testament to like a truly like, that dude is fucking beautiful, man. And so
Fireworks are going for him. There you
the
go.
fireworks
Fireworks
are
go for
booming
it.
Fireworks for Mel.
for our man Mel.
One movie that I know like every line of is Dracula Dead Loving It. Ooh. I love that movie
I saw
so much.
everything.
I just want your life. Don't worry, I
Much blood.
It just keeps going.
Damn it! Take the claws.
No, the other window or whatever she says. Oh man.
All right, thank you guys for that little walk down memory lane. I gotta remind myself to go pick up Lawnmower Man.
For the one.
But oops.
On tape at SPN.
Yeah, on tape, just the VHS for sure. I'll just cut it out of the reel.
Yeah. I wonder if it's streaming.
Everybody
Won't be the
loves
same
Lawn
without the
Mower Man.
squiggles.
I bet. What's up, Vancouver? Thanks for coming in. Just a quick shout out to all you beautiful people. Blackwater, we see you here. I see, what is this it's like incoherent. Incoherent. Welcome in. Steffi Pooh is our amazing technician. Steffi and Sean Gilchrist holding down the studio tonight.
Prove it.
Evolving Shadows, bro. You've been with us forever, and we love you so much. A non-lone ranger, an anonymous one in the house. Thanks so much for being here, guys. And Director Dude, huge supporter of the show. Always good to see you guys. So I do have a couple announcements to hit here, our show announcements. I did want to do a supporter shout out. The best way to support our show and everything we're doing here at Art Hard Studios is the WeeDnD Patreon. So if you go over to patreon.com/WeeDnD or type, I believe it's ! Patreon in chat if you're with us on Twitch, that'll take you there. We have a few different tiers of membership to help support the show, bringing it bigger and better every single week. I did want to shout out our highest tier, the Boxo members, Director Dude, who we just shouted out in chat, Ben, and Jennifer McClanahan. You know who she is?
Is that your sister?
It's my sister. And she's a huge supporter of the show, and we love having the family in there. And then to our Glorp tier supporters, Bricarius, Moose, Bob Graytrix, and Hunting the Boojum. Thank you guys so much. At those 2 tiers, you get to hang out with us on Discord. We do like a little Discord hangout. We're looking at the 23rd of this month. So if you want to come like play some games, smoke weed, and get high and have some fun with us, check out that Patreon. And then also, I just wanted to shout out because I haven't added everything to our layouts yet as I had planned. Again, all this King Arthur stuff. The rest of our Bud tiers, Brian Kunkel, Grim Wilder, Doorknob Studios. No, actually, yours defaulted, Sean. You're out. Luke, it calls you. Oh, I have to show you. It says the funniest word. Luke O'Hearn, Tyler Collinsworth. He lives over there. He's also one of the people that we just text Robin Hood Men in Tight Quotes back and forth. Nice. Huge shout out to Raiders, who brought their fabulous audiences our way last week. We have Dork Tales, huge longtime friends of the show. Martlet Games, who is, they do some really incredible not Vancouver by Night, that's Vancouver by Night.
That
Vampire,
sure is.
The Masquerade, as well as many other kinds of streams. And then Anne's Adventures D&D, who has come quite a few times. We really appreciate you bringing our audience. We always try to give them a great show and then pass it back off, and we always raid out at the end of the show, even if I forget to announce it as we go and end the show. We always run and go to a raid. Hang out, help support all these amazing creators who are doing such wonderful things in this space. They're all worth it. Shout out to lavmagnet.com. That is this little clip that I've got here that's holding my lav mic in place. They have donated these to us to use in our show. They've massively helped us as far as like positioning of lav mics and not getting them ripped off as we run around and do shenanigans. So thank them so much. We love them. You will too. Check them out at lavmagnet, lavmagnet.com. Oh!
That rhymed.
And thanks as always to Seer and Escape for the amazing atmosphere. Make sure you check them out at seerandscape.com because epic games need epic sound. And a firework went off.
Right at the-
You're
Really?
welcome. Send me my
Pretty
check.
epic. Pretty
Last but certainly not least, we've got us some merchandise now. And if you hop on over to Nicole's camera there, Sean. Nicole's rocking one of our WeeDnD sweatshirts. If you type !merch in chat, if you're with us on Twitch, it'll take you over there. If not, go to artheartstudios.square.site. Square.
Square.
We always got those squares, guys.
Got a good
Guys,
grade on
look
my
at my
test. Got best friends.
Oh,
Paper towel.
have you ever thought about opening a bar?
A bar? At the
Oh
square
my
bar?
God! We should open a bar.
We should open a bar. Great, Lotus. Thanks for coming on in. Good to see you, bud. It's been a little while. Brenna Folger subscribed with Prime.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, if you don't know it, guys, if you're an Amazon, what is it? Amazon Prime? Or an Amazon Prime member, here on Twitch, if you link your Amazon Prime to your Twitch, once a month you get a free subscription to a channel. I always ask, it's like, hey, if you can and you want to, throw us your Prime sub. It's free, and we actually get we get just as a
Kickbacks,
normal
baby.
sub back from Twitch. It is free and awesome. But your fiance's two favorite things, WeeDnD, well, welcome in.
Yay. Lighters up.
Yeah, tell your fiance we're about to do both those things.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I just lost track entirely of where I was. I'm sorry.
You're cute.
Oh yeah, you're right, guys. We do have this little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you heard about it. Maybe you haven't, but we like to take a lighter, like this WeeDnD lighter that I have right here. Make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire and go. The lighter's up.
Oh, are you doing that? Oh, that's so
Oh,
dangerous.
Mike, that is so dangerous.
Okay, we won't do it.
D&D.
No.
As the firework goes off.
You're gonna put it in the weed tray. No.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
Damn, I'm trying to put this out.
All right, guys. Holy crap. We thought a guy ripped in half and then another guy peeled himself. Now peel. Banana.
Peel,
That's one of our new warm-ups. All right, guys. We've got the mood is set. We'll have some, like I said, ambient fireworks sounds throughout the night, I'm sure. I don't know if you're hearing them, but we certainly will be. So if you see us react terrifyingly, that's probably what it was, unless I'm kicking people. We've got the world set for us. What do you say you allow me? Hold on. To set the mood. When last we left the Helping Committee, or THC, they had returned to the edge of the Kush Kingdoms after a perilous escape from the unresting Willows. Realizing it best not to engage with the unresting king within his lands while in possession of his corpse, THC decided to return from whence they came. The journey, however, would not be without its price. As the sexy bird agents of the Unresting Legion flew overhead, Pickles called out for their attention. But before they could engage, the birds were burned from the sky by a fiery strike from what they have known to be called the Seething, a ferocious, unyielding, undead menace that hungers for the essence of both life and undeath. Their planning time was cut short as the horrific beast began to close in on their position, and THC began its retreat, protected by the ritual barriers of Lucian's new Ghost Hunter Order. Despite their best efforts at concealment, or a one that got rolled, the berserking monster waylaid them on their path and ripped Drugal into pieces before our heroes could dispatch it. With little time to mourn in the lands of their enemies, THC gathered the fallen corpse and continued toward the borders of the southern kingdom of Pulpe within the Kush Kingdoms. As they broke the tree line, they heard a great battle from within the streets and the blaring horns of the Stag Army. These fireworks, man. If we should have put a mic outside for fireworks. All right, guys. We jump back.
Oh, every time.
You know, the air all around you is tense as the horns rattle the very sound waves that enter through your ears. And you look on, beyond you guys are currently at Tabitha's church. You came back to the same place that you left. Strange fluorescent pools of water that gather nearby, although the church somewhat decrepit and fallen down in its state. Beyond the strange, thick mud streets of Pulpe with their many smells and fragrances. But you hear the clanging of weapons. screams and cries as if a great battle is taking place down these roads in Poolpay. You know, as you kind of look back at the ground behind you, the wet grounds of the unresting willows, trees still kind of reaching for you, but you all outside of its grasp. You know, no longer can you be located by the unresting. You look forward. As far as you can see, you know, looking off toward the other kingdoms, you know, Saleh and up to the north, you peer, and it seems like there's great regiments of the stag army riding around. You know, you see them driving from one area to another as if they are currently engaged in quite a spread out melee. You know, as you look down the street, you see a man running in the white robes that you saw with the people that had gathered for Tarnuk the All-Eye. Okay. You see him running as two men are engaged in a battle. You see the standard rank and file brawler types that are present in Poolpay, you know, strong men that work with their bodies, squaring off against a soldier from the stag army. You know, they're exchanging swords and blows, and it looks like they're kind of evenly matched, but that the stag army man with his training and combat is gaining the upper hand. You see the running robed man just flies into combat and breaks the jaw of the stag army man. He falls to the ground unconscious, one hitter quitter and asleep, you know, his face laying in some disgusting mud. You see the robed man kind of looks up at the stag, and they share a warrior's handshake and begin returning to battle.
Oh.
So there you stand, near the graveyard of the lost, with holding the body, the ripped asunder body of Drugal, the ghost's corpse himself walking, you know, with you as you come, and all of you standing before what sounds like a great battle. What do you do?
Well,
So the goofballs are working with the goofballs. Okay.
I wanted to clear that up. So
Good to know.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, again, it's just the two of them, but the D&D of it all. It does appear that the cult, if you recall them.
wrote it
Yes.
down.
Yes,
Okay, the eye boys.
Tarnuk the All-Eye.
Tarnuk the
The eye boys
All-Eye.
are working with the horse girls.
No, they're working with the pool pagans.
The poop pay. Okay.
Yeah, the poop
The
guys.
bug girls.
Yeah, the bug girls.
The poop
Okay.
guys, the poop guys.
The poop guys. Okay.
But yes,
Eye
it would
boys
appear
are
as the
coming in.
Oblivikin is
I
what they're
see.
called.
I see. The eye boys are working
The
That's
Oblivikin.
right.
against the stag.
That was one of those names where you're like, yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do.
Poop
Oblivikin.
Poop pay.
Well, I'm not surprised. Like last time we were there, everyone was so tense because they just were like martial law's happening, and everyone in Poolpay was like, "No, we want to live our
dog,
lives."
that ain't me.
Yeah, the stags came in hot. There was that, and he just like made that choice too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like martial law. And we're-
That kind of goes to my next question. Do we recognize that it's like roughly the same time period? Because we've been going in and out.
Oh, yeah,
of
how
different
long have we
realms
been
and
gone?
Just
shit.
so you guys know, there's no wonky time method.
Okay.
I swear, Drew was so like he was looking at me like, is it the same day, Brandon?
Is it
like,
the
did
same?
we?
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
has my order fallen again?
Yeah. So you did indeed go into the Feywild, where time magics sometimes are strange, but it would appear that your encounter with fellow Ferrari somehow prevented that
Nice. It was
loss
the
of
cakes.
time.
So we're
Who's that guy?
Or the meatloaf?
he was a friend that we made. You'll meet this is maybe someday. Maybe you'll meet him. You were dying a lot.
1,000 times.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You were busy.
You were
Probably
busy,
like
yeah.
425,
Yeah.
500.
So we are friends with the Polpe people though, right? So
Yes.
Mash
so
O'Malley
these
is
people
your
aren't gonna-
patron.
Yeah, these people aren't gonna
And
bother us.
I am friends with the cold people because I gave the epic speech,
All
and
right.
the leader was like, "If you ever need anything,
Well,
I
Enra
got
is,
you."
is in with them.
Well, I can still be Enra, guys.
I-
I made myself be her once.
I'm just saying.
It's not there anymore. You're like, oh crap! I died so many times. I forgot how to be an angel.
With so many lives. Okay, well then let's just get the fuck back. So where are we trying to go? We're trying to go to the castle? Are we going? With the body? We're trying to take the body back?
Gosh, so much happened. Good idea to
There is a lot.
reprioritize.
Yeah, feel free to like,
Grab the
yeah.
body.
Okay, like yeah, Pickles kind of takes like a big step, like, all right, what are we doing?
Right.
Where are we going? What's the plan? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Excellent.
We need to figure out what's been going on since we've been gone. We need
right.
to check in with our people, and some of our people might be fighting right now.
Truth.
Do we want to try and allay this fight? or use it as a distraction to move further. I'm leaning towards the former, but of course,
Well, the stag looks like he is not getting up anytime soon, so I think we can probably just keep walking.
How many people do we see fighting?
Currently, like it's it's well into the city, and you remember it's a little bit of ways. Like you're kind of at the tree line of the Unresting Willows, where like only the crazy Tabitha would go. In this strange kind of graveyard of the lost, as she called it.
Okay.
And so you're still a ways out, but you have seen this kind of melee near the outskirts of the town where you left. There's no guards present, like at where you would come into the town.
Okay.
It would appear like most people are engaged. If you kind of peer off down into the streets, you can see combat occurring. So it seems like there's pretty good numbers of this by the clangs of swords and the cries you hear from within.
So what we need to do is get these bodies wherever they need to go first, because I believe it will slow us down if we are carrying these extra corpses. So maybe the
Dead
first
weight.
thing priority, we should prioritize cutting off the fat.
Yeah, I did.
We need to decide where we're taking it.
Yeah. Where
But
do you want
there's-
your father's body to go?
There's where everybody thinks he is,
Oh yeah, there's that.
or do we take him to the castle?
We can go hang out at the grinder if you guys want to.
is that where you'd like to lay Drugol
I
to
was like,
rest?
what is that again? Oh,
That
right,
seems
that's
like
here.
a good place for Drugol, if we're going to stop there
Yeah,
first. And
that's
I'll
like-
kind of think about
I know those guys have my
Where the
back,
king
which
should go.
they'll have your back too. So that's at least a safe house with
Yeah.
And that's
amenities.
probably
Your carriage is there, correct? You had left it at Tabitha's. Yep.
Oh, maybe,
yay.
yeah.
Because you met
Yay.
them. Remember, you
We
came from that
met.
meeting with Elios Broussard. And
I can barely remember talking with them, but yes, I remember the meeting for sure.
so, I mean, you have this carriage. At this point, I'm going to say all of you make a stealth check. Okay?
So golly, gee.
Where are all those fireworks?
I'm going to say the DC is actually a 15.
Ooh, my.
Yeah. This is a group one, so it depends on pass and fails.
Well,
And we add our stealth
Add
to
your
this?
stealth modifier. Yeah.
12.
I have a 27.
Shit.
Thank God.
Rogues.
I have a 15.
And
Did you say it was +5?
yeah.
11.
All right. So you guys, you start kind of like just gathering up the carriage and stuff, looking down at the signs of combat down the road. Recall, based on the rule of the stag, leaving the town was illegal. Like going into the Unresting Willows was illegal. And so, you kind of hear a shift in the bushes behind you, and you look back over your shoulders. Nothing there. You kind of peer over, look behind the bush, maybe just something settling, something falling from a tree. Nothing else happens as you guys kind of start setting the barding of the horses and everything, getting in the carriage.
The boarding?
Yeah, there it is. The board.
Board.
Yeah, make sure the board is sturdy.
Where's
The-
Bort?
That's where that came from. The setting up the carriage too. Yes. We're back to board, baby.
Back to board.
Back to
Wait,
back boards?
hold on, I have a question.
we never took that one back to the guy in the
I want to do
shirt.
something, but can I
Yes,
do it?
yes.
Sure didn't.
I would like, as we're like starting to get things ready, I like am a changeling, so I like become a small animal to run around the house, and then I become Enra and come around the corner.
That's actually what the rustle in the bush was. You see this little rabbit jump out and it goes behind, and then suddenly from behind this church comes Enra, wings back out.
Oh, shoot.
So,
Oh my God, Enra, you missed Shay. You just missed Shay.
You should have met Shay. He's a super cool person that we just met.
she was just here.
You get along so well.
That's funny, yeah. I believe. Anyways.
So yes, you kind of, again, just to kind of explain that changing into an animal might be a little bit beyond the realms, but for
so
sheer
much
comedy,
control.
it was allowed to happen in that cut.
Thank you.
It also helped with the failed save there. But no, as you come back as Enra, your necklace glows. And remember, you have two of them now. One that's showing that a member of your order was around or possibly killed by the Bloodhound. And so as the one glows that you're attuned to, your order, these trainees of the Shifting Council, is given these powerful magic items that allow both your equipment to change as well, and your size. Like relatively, normally like a changeling's features only allow them to be a creature of about their shape, but this magical item given to the soul knives, it allows you to shift your equipment and your clothing as well. So, with some variation in height and body I would allow as well, but mostly humanoid shapes.
Just
except for
change
just right
appearance.
there. Yeah, exactly.
check.
So that's fair.
I like to think of like the rogue's like disguise kit being used, and she just like puts on ears, and it's like good enough though, like right because her spell's so high.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
Like that was a rabbit over there. Did you guys see that rabbit that was running in the bushes?
I don't know if I saw a rabbit, but I saw rabbit ears, so
Yeah.
I'm already sold.
Done.
I'm so over it. Yeah.
Sold.
All right, so what's the order? Like there's, like I said, there's probably about 4 seats, 6 because we said it was a regal. So 6 seats inside of the carriage itself, and then there would be the driving of it. So who's positioned where?
Well, we're keeping the bodies at least one inside. I would say
Probably
both.
the,
One? I was like, what?
I was gonna say it's gonna be really hard to weekend at Bernie's that thing up in the driver's seat.
I
They're
mean,
like, is that the
honestly,
king?
But the boldness,
Can you imagine?
but the boldness of it, I think they.
That's what I
wouldn't
mean, I was
even
like, the
think about
showman.
that.
we
Like,
have
kinda-
Chef, and
me
Chef
and
is a good multitasker. I mean, perhaps he could keep track of
Chef.
both.
I'll sit up front. I'm just a teddy bear, so I'll just fucking sit right up front. I'm just a little teddy bear.
I'm just a teddy bear.
I'm just a teddy bear, so I will sit up front, and I do not know if you want to have the bodies in the carriage. Do you like the bodies in the carriage? I'm not strong.
I can stand on the back and like hold on because my wings.
It looks like you have
Oh, now you want to
Like,
use your
I'm
wings?
flying. Lucy, you know. don't
Now
play-
you want to? No, it's fine.
play along.
I'm playing.
For
along.
good.
Yeah. You guys are all in on my secret now.
What about you guys?
I'll hunker down on top in case we need some.
on top.
Yeah.
All right, Mark's on top.
And then you're in with
And
the
Lucian, where are
corpses.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang in the carriage with the 2 dead guys.
Get it! Chilling.
What do you got in there?
But what about your boys? Where do they go?
Yes,
Yeah,
you also
just
have the
boys.
other
Do they
4
just
of
walk
the
around
Ghost Slayer
us?
Order are with you. Now you can see tension in their eyes. Remember, Lucian, these are new trainees of yours, but they are members of the House of the Stag. And you see them, at the witness of this. They are under your command, so they're not running up or anything. But you can obviously see there is a tension within themselves right now at watching what's occurring here. So, be mindful of potentially their reactions to what goes on as well.
Well, yeah, I don't want to upset them. Those are my boys.
Not my friends Rainier.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
already
even
lost.
Rainier, he's like, oh, Pickles, this is...
I know, man. It is so hard. So let us do. Our handshake is like a little bit like tense and sad.
Yeah, it's...
I can tell
Yeah.
we are both very distracted.
Yes, the remaining living members, Aphetho, Cortax, Rainier, and Fear and Gold. Fear and Gold's the next hottest one, if you guys were...
Oh, okay, I thought it was rainy.
No, Reddy's right in the middle.
Okay.
He's a stocky guy. He's a big guy, cuddly.
We have the 4 left though, right?
Yes.
All right.
If we
Oh God.
there's room in the carriage for them, and if Chef and I can hold the bodies on the top,
Oh,
we
yeah,
might
that
make a
way we
kind of
can
an
just kind
entrance,
of
but
pass through without any bullshit.
Yeah, and also, in Tabitha's chambers and everything, there's probably like a blanket around if you wanted to throw it over there or anything.
Is there a
at your
tap?
disposal.
oh, fucking Tabitha blanket.
Okay, Tabitha.
It smells like you. It's like, oh
sniffing
no. That's troubling
Getting them good
implications.
stinky sniffs in.
You stink.
Getting them fat sniffs.
Fat sniff.
Get a fat sniff, bro. Catch yourself a fat sniff, bro.
Why does Tabitha have my skate blankets?
Yeah, why?
If I'm running back inside, is there anything else in Tabitha's quarters? It's been a minute and a lot has happened.
It
but,
has been a minute, and you did. Again, with the investigation you put over the room over several days, you picked the place kind of clean. But you can't help, again, Mark, your intelligence as these pieces kind of start coming into play as the players and who's doing what and why. You can't help but watch as you kind of push the church door open. You see the cold cobblestone, that smell of death and plants and mashed, experiments of her with necrotic entities. You look over at the bed where you spent the evening with her dead body. You look, you have her skull affixed on your shoulder, and you look at the place she died. Where the rituals scrawled upon the floor no longer active with their arcane magics, but that spot in the center of the room where the necrocore was shattered. You hear a whisper from the skull at your side. She deceived me. She deceived us all. I want you to kill that brouhaha, my handsome boy. For a brief second, you can almost feel her fingertips caress your face. And then you open your eyes, and the room is still.
That's exactly what I want to happen. And the helping committee is, oh, we're all so ready.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Of course, she was deceived, but I'm still wondering what brought her to wanting to join the covenant in the first place.
You know, you're familiar with hags, the notion of them, powerful magic users. And especially in Ganjaria, the hags are known for being spurned by Queen Mab. When the world was created in Queen Mab's Feywild image, this twisting wilderness that began to populate the realm of Ganjaria, when that first occurred, the hags should have been her counselors and highest members, but she cast them out for fear of their jealousy.
And now her jealous sister has the jealous hags. Work with what you've got, I suppose, but they're working against us, so...
Yeah.
Is the, are we fine with the carriage?
Oh yeah, however you guys want to roll, it's fine with me.
So that way we get the boys too.
Yeah.
Good call. We just leave them, we're like, thanks everybody.
Right. Thanks, guys. As we're like settling into our spots, because I'm kind of near you, because I'm like behind you, I lean over and I go, "Hey, Mark, do your skulls glow?"
Glow.
I looked through an item that I have and I saw that your skulls kind of glow.
Not that I've noticed. Not a visual glow. I feel something from them. Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, having just spoke with one, you're a little like, oh, what did you see it? You know, it's some strange interactions. But yes, peering through the eye, the ruby eye, you did see some strange wisping energy from the skulls at Mark's shoulders.
Was one glowing like recently?
I happened to I was looking around the forest and you were there and I just looked over and noticed that there's just like, wispy energy that's coming from both of them. But it was through a ruby, so they're both the same color.
All right. You see any like pulses at any point? Like one glows a little more than the other?
I'm gonna be honest, it kind of scared me, so I stopped pretty quickly.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's like if you had 3D glasses that actually worked, you'd be like, oh God, I'm so sorry, holy crap.
Sorry.
Is it like does it look like do they smell? They look like they have like some sort of like stink waves coming off of them, or like is it hot? Like how do these what do they mean? What does it mean?
I don't know. They just wisp around. There were a lot of wisping things in the forest, but they were different from what I saw on your shoulders.
Yeah, was he smoking that man's ganja?
That
Man.
Just blowing smoke into each
Like his skull.
How far away is
Oh, we got a raid coming in. Thank you, Old World Charm. Thanks so much. Light us up, boys. Thanks so much for bringing your people our way. All right, so you guys have kind of set. You've got the cart set. Is that correct? So who's inside? Is it Lucian and is it just Lucian
Chaboys.
and the boys?
Lucin and Chaboys.
And then we've got at the helm.
We're all
We've got
outside.
Pickles
Yeah.
at the helm. Enra in the rear. Mark on top, covering the two with a blanket. Correct? The two corpses that you have with you. Is that correct?
If there's still a free horse, is that where Chef can go?
Yeah,
We
chef.
got him
Yeah, absolutely. You can put your
Okay.
chef, just like an undead skeleton, right? Isn't he? Yeah.
Just
So you see,
Yes.
just kind of sits on the
Scale
front
boy.
of this
Yeah.
of this
I'm cool with
horse.
that.
But I'll be on top, yeah, with the blanket, and then both halves of Drugal
Yeah.
and the king.
So at this point, you kind of have a few decisions to make. As you can ride through the streets of Poolpay, obviously, but with the melee, you pretty much imagine you would be pulled into some kind of conflict through the streets.
Yes, I have.
You can go either two directions. Around the south border of Poolpay, near the tree line of the Unresting Willows, or go through the northern side back to the kind of normal roads where you would pass the central city of Saleh as well. Remember, it's like you've got I'm forgetting the top one right now. Throw it up. There we go. Thank you so much. You've got Cordeaux at the north, Saleh, the central city that people always vie for power over. Lumal is in the bottom on the far west side, southwest, and you are currently like kind of at the back of Poolpay on the southeast. So it's like you can go under and around the city by getting close to the Unresting Willows. You can go above and through the kind of main fairway of the roads that would lead you over toward Lumal, where the grinder is located.
That's where the grinder is.
Yeah.
Okay, and that just sound, but That way
or
also
through
sounds-
Pulpe. Through Pulpe, like through the streets of the city that's kind of seemingly in the middle of a battle right now, that's like straight ahead of you. So if you just think of it like left, you'll kind of go by the Unresting Willows and around the city proper. To the right, you'll kind of go through the central part of the city.
And there sounds like there's a bunch of bullshit going
There's
on.
guys riding around and stuff like that, but no, you don't see as much sign of combat there.
Oh, no,
As well.
no,
I mean, they're
no.
riding around. You see a lot of stag army and not a lot of anybody else.
Okay.
How far away is this scuffle?
Inside the city proper, I would say probably like close to a mile away from you is like how far into Pulpe you could get without dealing with the main whatever's going on in there.
If as we approach,
I have an idea.
uh,
Is there a way? Okay.
I get nervous.
Okay.
Yes, Brendan, what was you
Not my
I'm
sundial.
thinking, because I want to take the most direct way. But if there's conflict or things that are kind of looking, like trying, like every time they look at us, they're like, "I'm gonna kick your ass." I would like to
kick all their ass.
kick their asses first. No, I would like to give the signal
Noodle arms?
and
Oh.
cast Hour of Reaping.
Okay.
So that
Oh.
if anyone looks our way, like, but I'd like to, if there's a way to like I'll do this early. This is early, babe. Look how early this is. It's early as fuck. But I want to maybe,
Oh,
maybe I can get everybody in on it, and it would be like if they see us, they're like, "What?" They like people want nothing to do with us. To like get like whatever everybody can do to be the most terrifying they can be, whether it is showing like a man in half, like just going.
I just want to describe, this is why I'm laughing so much. Currently, you have a skeleton riding a horse in front of like this teddy bear that's just standing there silently at the reins.
Yeah, like sitting there. At the,
Strange angelic wings from the backside of the cart that split out from either side. 2 corpses on your roof and a necromancer like clinging onto the top.
yeah, and a bunch of blood hunter dudes
Just
on
a
the
very
inside, just
stoic
chilling.
cabin.
I love that.
Yeah.
a lot.
So I can
inside
see
just-
it imagining, yes, that would be like, you like look over and it's just like,
And everyone's like, no.
yeah, I'm not,
no.
that's
Yeah.
above my, that's
Nope,
that guy's got like a level
I'm
or
good on
two.
this. I'm good on this. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
it's like, it's that song, but in like a minor key. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spooky.
the one they use for like the Jordan Peele movie, like
Yes,
Yeah.
you don't know me now.
Yeah.
All right, so I
824
will
trailer.
say you used your epic opportunity and bolstered a class ability that you've now used. Yes, I will say that will have an effect. It's like you're not. It's like strange to have a skeleton riding on a horse in the first place.
Yeah.
And
as
so
an
it is
action-
also a gilded carriage of the House of the Stag. So
Yes.
you're like, being around in this area for too much longer, you're like, I don't know whose attention we're trying to draw right now, but you're trying right now to kind of avoid it. So I will say that will absolutely factor into whatever way you
Like,
guys
it's
decide to
skill
go.
check- Okay, yeah. I would like to, because I'm thinking if we're going like whatever the most direct is, even if it's going through conflict and stuff, if people are fighting and then it's like they turn to like do and they're
Out of
like,
the way,
no,
Peck.
No, no, thank you for that. Yeah. So we could.
Shift.
That's what I'm thinking. So whichever is the most direct, and is that going from Pulpe to? No, we got to go to Luminol because that's
You got,
where
Lumal,
everything
that's
is.
where the grinders
Lumal.
are.
Them all.
So I say we go.
Wow.
Directly
I
through,
see what you
straight
did
line.
there,
Do you want to go
throwing
underneath
murders.
this, like through Pulpe,
Luminol.
so that it's probably the straightest line to get there. You could go right through the city proper and continue in a straight line. That would get you over to Lumal. Going around south, is a little bit longer, but not, it's probably the longest of the 3, honestly. And then going around the north side toward kind of the central area, there does seem to be a lot of traffic there and stuff, but everybody else seems pretty engaged in whatever they're doing. So, being in the cart of the stag army, you can imagine that unless maybe a really bad roll or something,
those
you
never
might
happen.
be that you feel like maybe the stags won't screw with you as much, but the other parties might be more interested in seeing what's it with this gilded carriage from the House of the Stag. So, but again, you will be bolstered. You use your epic opportunity. That kind of fear aura emanating around this almost slow-moving, thing with the skeletal course. That again, all is described like this weird, just like it's so like. And you're actually using the magic of the Feywild to emanate fear from yourself.
And the horses can't see me, so they're not spooked.
They're not spooked. That's good. That's
Yay.
good. One looks back. Ah, it just peels off.
It's just looking, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah. So, but yeah, I give the signal as we start taking off,
All
or
right.
everybody just don't look at me.
Okay.
Yeah. Just avert your eyes from Pickles. So you guys are riding. Which way are you going?
Oh yeah, let's decide that before we stop looking.
Oh, right. I'm also gonna have my boys just looking out the windows, mean mugging everyone, just like.
Spooky.
Looking
They
out.
can't
Yeah.
see you because they're inside.
They've all
Yeah.
got like eyeshadow.
Right.
Yeah.
Fear and gold, definitely.
I'm just
Yeah.
pitching for
You
a
can't
shirt.
see me either. You're on the back.
So yeah, I guess just the quickest way. That's what we decided.
Let's go straight through.
Yeah,
Let's see what
yeah,
sort
let's
of
direct way.
shenanigans and chicanery.
All right, you.
I say let's take the gamble, right? Seems smart. Or fun, at least.
Fun.
yeah,
Fun.
you'll get a proper eyes on
Fun.
what's actually going on.
I would like
Yeah.
to know what is going on, at least a little bit on our way, right? So I think.
Yeah,
that
because
this
we're
is
not
the
going to see
best.
much if we go the left south route
Right.
and take
That's
longer.
true.
There's not.
You'll
shit
kind of see what's
on.
going on with Soleil. Maybe you could see up to the high pillars of
Yeah, but we're
Cordeaux,
not going to like see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to roll by the accident.
Yeah.
and
Cool.
be like, oh, that's what happened.
I think rolling by and looking is great because like we all have people kind of in all the sides, right? So just taking a quick glance will help us assess what we need to do after we get this body buried.
So, you kind of all settle into your positions on the cart. Mark laying there, just that wispy whisper coming from the skull on your side. It's
one of
wispy
those.
whisper. That's,
Ah, it's
one of those.
that's
wispy
clearly a name of a
whispers.
bar in some other city.
yeah.
The wispy whisper.
Wispy
Ooh, it's wispy. Ooh.
Will of the whispers.
You guys kind of settle up in all your positions. Looking out the windows. Lucian, you kind of sit at the central spot, looking around. Your boys posted at each of the windows. Pickles at the front, kind of manning the reins as you emanate this fear aura from you. Henry, it's a little harder for you to look. You're just kind of like hanging on the back with your wings out. Mark, you're on the top, and you kick the horses into gear. You hear the splotting, plots of their feet and the strange wet muds. All the piss and shit that rolls down from Cordeaux and Soleil settles at the lowest region of the city here in Poulpay. The fragrance is striking once again as you hear the clangs and battles kind of getting louder and louder as you move up the street. You kind of take a turn and you look before you, and it's an outright war. You see several, groups of white and brown robed, House of the Octopus members, these mercenary types battling side by side with the Oblivion. Normally a very passive group, but you see them casting spells. They wave their hands and arcs of magic start shooting out as if they're supporting the brawl of the warriors of the streets of Poulpay. All set up against a very much better trained military. The House of the Stag. You see the green and gold armor shields pressed, although they are, bending, they are certainly not going to break to fights. And as they start to take damages, they'll actually retreat around corners to better positions where it does seem like the people in Poulpay are fighting an emotional battle. They do not want this martial law that's been imposed. They will not let the House of the Stag just take over that easily. And, the Oblivion, from what, and again, some of you know, but from your meeting with him, they believe strongly that all of this royal family stuff is nonsense. And what a better example of, like, once again, our rights are being taken away. We're being beaten and thrown in our houses, by these House of the Stag people. Graneth Ildebrand, the Lord Captain.
And
so-
just to clarify that the Oblivion is the Tarnak, the All-Eye
Yes,
group.
Tarnak
Okay.
the All-Eye is the head of
All
the
right.
Oblivion.
Just wanted.
Who basically, it's a church, and they just preach the acceptance of oblivion. They want Ganjaria to be wiped away so that the new world can be born much better than
Do you
this
let
one.
kids into that church?
Yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's rude.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's
I
got
have a feeling that place is going to burn
It's
down.
got
I
culty
don't know.
vibes. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like always very pale when they
They
tell
know
you about
us.
the coming of Oblivion, and they're always just real sad and weird and ominous. But their numbers are
Oh, so it's
growing
like church.
as the king has died. And all all these horrible things that have happened in the kingdom. The idea of a people's revolution seems much better, and who better an ally than the people of Poulpay, freedom-loving.
Yeah.
Freewheeling sons of bitches.
Yeah, they're all dressed like Jake. You just got like the, like, what is this flag? I don't know. It's way later, guys.
I don't even know.
But yeah, so you guys kind of run up and you see, this melee. Guys throwing people into sides walls. Probably 500 people engaged in a battle that's just spilling through the very streets. Now you can kind of navigate your way through to try to avoid the thick of the battles, or you can again proceed completely through it and just see what this effect that you have. It does look like it's a pretty epic battle, and that might put you in the crossfire of bolts that are being fired from open windows on the sides of the wall. The many colored tapestries dangling all around are good cover for people throwing daggers from the shadows, trying to offset the strong military might we're doing like a Revolutionary War thing, and I
little
wasn't
bit.
even planned. Fucking 4th of July. So, but
First
it's like,
Father's Day,
yeah, that's
4th
right.
of July.
Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, these, they're all wearing bright. I changed their color to bright red, and sorry. Anyway. So yes, this, you see the people, and again, the battle flows back and forth. The stags have the training, the armor, the weaponry, but the other side has spirit and is the one being oppressed, and so a little more engaged in its resistance of this moment. You look for people that amongst the borders as you kind of, start beginning, just what you've seen so far, you kind of stop, Pickles, everybody peers out the window and just kind of looks at this going on. Again, you see the hearts of your 4 men kind of looking at their brothers in combat. You see their fingertips start tapping on the windowsill, and there's a feeling within them to help their brothers, but they are in fact your soldiers now. And so you can see they won't, just run out. But as they get closer and they see more of what's going on, it is harder and harder for them to not engage. You kind of look up the street toward where not Ildessa, dang it,
Taldessa.
where Taldessa's seamstress shop was, and it's collapsed. You see a big giant ballista, those giant wooden spikes that are shot. There's 3 of them have blasted into the side of the building, launched clearly by the House of the Stag. And if you'll recall, that was kind of the tactical position of Mash O'Malley. So you can kind of see them striking the targets that, you don't see bodies outside, or anything like that. But from where you are, again, you would kind of have to get down there and in there to check it out. But you do see that her shop is destroyed. The building kind of teetering on top. Remember, they're all multi-floored buildings. And so you see the kind of building above it kind of teetering back and forth as this huge chunk of the base has been destroyed.
Well, I was going to say, Mark is from this town, right? And is the smartest guy we know, so he'd probably know, back streets pretty well, and back streets, back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the horses kind of rear at the action. They're a little afraid of walking forward into this kind of a thing, but there are the same back roads that you use to kind of escape the melee along the way. Some of them not particularly good for a carriage, but again, Mark having a photographic memory and having walked these streets many times, you think you might be able to navigate a course that's safer than the one that lays before you.
If it helps, the path that got us to the Unresting Willows when we just started this, wow, not that long ago.
No.
What a night.
Yeah, 16 hours or something.
Yeah,
it was.
man.
But instead, since then, after Tabitha's passed, and I've looked through her spell book, and just her charlatan ways, she has probably a different route through the city, right?
Absolutely. No, that's a fantastic. Tabitha's whole thing is being able to get people poisons and daggers that freeze people in their dreams. And so she has indeed, gone the best. It's always behind places where there may be a body that's left out for the collector in the next morning. And you see it does kind of bring you past butcheries and locations where dead materials are easier to find.
In the crowd that we went, but do we notice anybody else that looked familiar?
You guys are kind of peering once more out into this melee. And as you're looking, you see one of these small groups, probably 20 guards running alongside a captain of the Stag army. As they all kind of cross, you see, he stands forward and he kind of tosses his blonde hair and these striking blue eyes. And you see this look on his face as if he's unsure what to do with his battalion right now.
I recognize him. Sorry.
Yeah, Pickles, the same
both
face that you saw where you saw that strange moment with Shay Mira. But yes, you see him kind of looking around, a little bit lost, and then you see he points down an alleyway, and they all run away, but not toward the main battle where you've seen all this stuff happen. He seems a little shook by what's going on.
Yeah.
Remember, he was trying to negotiate peaceful terms when you saw him last.
Yeah, he did not want to go to war.
Yes. And so that is what you see kind of peering in. He runs down some street off to the side, and again, you're like, we could pull off to this path back here. I think the carriage would make it through some of the tighter tunnel areas, and perhaps stay away from some of the more ideal targets in the city if it's wartime.
I don't know the blonde fellow, but am I catching, because I turned around on the carriage to not look at Pickles up front. Do I catch any of those vibes when...
Make a, this would actually be a perception check.
Yeah. I think I see him too. And I was like,
16?
So what is your deception?
My
Deception stat.
deception, that is a 5.
Okay. So it's only because of how striking this is. You know, again, when you're basically a passive 15 deception, you know, like you're trying to hide it, whatever, but it's like this is so striking of a moment that you do allow, you know, a little slip up. You know, if you were on a spy mission, you would never let this happen, but your guard's a little down in this moment, and you see this, you know, this blonde man once again. You know, you flash back to that painting that he had painted, reaching out in the rain toward you. You know, it all just kind of hits you at once. And yes, I would say, Mark, you do notice kind of like a strange strike back by Enra as she looks back. You know, it's not your face, you know, and so it's a little,
Well, Mark saw that thing in our, we all like had that shared nightmare thing. So, and he's got his crazy visual memory thing, so I'm sure he's
a little older now, but the striking blue eyes are it's like you've seen it.
And at the end of the day, it more than anything, that's kind of the punch to the gut. But someone's shooketh and, you know, trying to get him and his people out of there, which we've been trying to do with ours.
Yeah.
If I can throw a hypnotic pattern on whoever's around trying to pursue them to try and
nice, yeah, throw it out. I'll just do like a this is like a group check. A 2. So yeah, you know, you see basically it's like he's not retreating, so to speak, but he's not really engaging where he could. With the numbers that he has, he could go help bolster many of these battles, but he's seemingly kind of like wandering the road. Like even you know by your knowledge of these roads, like that's not the road if you're getting anywhere that you need to get. And so you see a group behind him, you know, 2 of these Oblivion kind of standing there casting their spells. And they're right as they're about to launch. What does your hypnotic pattern look like? It's like a big box in the sky.
It's almost like the like for Vegas people, the Fremont Street experience, just like a quick like. But
The guy zip lines by.
It's what we've seen in the Feywild. These people can't even conceptualize the Feywild, so everything I've seen, if I can like project that in front of them for just like a like it hits them in about a second, and they're like.
like, oh my god, yeah, so much. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're just standing there, you know. So yeah, you see these Oblivion, and then some of the mercenary types, you know, like a real big bruiser guy, like huge muscles, kind of like looking around for trouble to start. You see, kind of steps out into the road, and then you see their eyes just like roll back, and you see the whites of their eyes for a moment as they're all stunned.
And then RKO out of nowhere.
And then what are you guys doing? So yeah, this hypnotic pattern's worked. It's going to hold them for a little bit, but as soon as they're unhypnotized, they will probably be looking around for what happens. So do you guys like head off, or
we're
you do think you
going.
bolster?
We still got somewhere to be.
You see the horses, you know, kind of at some point sprint, at other times, you know, you're just kind of like letting them feel it out. You're letting their fear, you know, they're going to go the safest route because they're animals and they know where the safest energy lies. You know, and so they're kind of choosing their way through the paths. Mark, you're kind of whispering ahead at which direction.
Yeah, he's like not looking and going, it's a big
Yeah, we'll follow your path. And sure enough, as you turn this one corner, you hear the sludge of the wheels in this disgusting mud. You see there is like a pile of like 2 corpses thrown out behind what would basically be like a doctor, like it's like a medicine person that, you know, will cut your arm off if it's starting to rot, and then maybe you'll die like 4 days later. Like he's non-magical.
Barber.
Yeah. Non-magical means of, you know, attempted at health. And so there's 2 fresh corpses kind of thrown behind you. See weapon wounds on their chests. You know, they've clearly been killed in combat, rushed over to here, and it didn't work out. But there are a couple corpses in the back of this place. So you're following, you know, Tabitha, you always knew where to find corpses.
Can I?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a new day.
Oh, if we just keep putting corpses on top of the thing, that's just gonna make us scarier.
Corpse carriage.
That's our band name. Corpse
Carriage. Chaos.
Respect your surroundings.
So what do you get? You get 2. Does it break the one on the other one, or is he still around for a little while?
I think he's still good because I have Undead Thrall.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you're a necromancer.
And it's been less than 24 hours since we popped him up.
16.
That's when we met Fellow.
Yeah.
Is when Chef popped
okay,
up.
yeah. So only at this point 12 hours for him, or no, even less, 8 hours for him.
Oh my god.
So you still have
God.
hours.
They grow up so fast. My God.
Been a hell of a day.
So Chef's still good, and I just turn those 2 zombies.
You guys are like you're riding on the carriage, and then you just see Mark like, ooh. Skeletons or zombies?
Group vote. I just yell it real fast. I'm like, skeletons or zombies?
Zombonis.
Zombies!
Yay! 2 zombies, please.
Zombie!
Zombie! We got zombie! Hey! Oh!
That was really good.
Yeah.
You guys are too good. We're gonna get in trouble.
That's true. They'll be like,
That's
hey,
too close.
are you the cranberries?
No.
Crandy.
Are you guys the cranberries? No, we are corpse courage.
No, we're corpse courage.
We're the craisins.
Be kind to the corpse.
Recycle.
Corpse courage. It pays to be kind.
All right. Adding to this kind of horrific visage, you grab two zombies. They kind of stand up. Again, they move a little better than like a zombie that moves super slow because of your mastery with necromancy. They kind of turn and look at you, their new master. Sagging skin. You see one looks like the tan skin of an outdoor worker. His body, withered with a hard day's work, but not a warrior type. And the other man, clearly a member of the Stag Army. And so, again, the zombification and the twisting of them, that would be unidentifiable to anybody without the kind of knowledge you have. But that is where they came from, if that's interesting to you.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
indeed it is. So I'm going to, because we're still moving along in the carriage,
Yes.
correct? So they just like,
They're like dragging on the back.
if I can help hoist them up on the roof as well as, cupcake, ho-ho. Onward. Have them like kind of climb up and I'll help them along the way.
Cupcake and
Cupcake
Yeah,
and
you sort
ho-ho.
of climb up. They're up on top of it. So now you have a skeleton on a horse pulling a carriage with this dark seating teddy bear that's got this strange cuttlefish
Yep.
that's got this like necrotic waves of magic energy of fear emanating from it, with two zombies posted up on the roof. The Order of the Ghost Slayers and Lucian inside this carriage of the stag. You guys are riding along, and
If
finally you
anything,
see.
it looks like we've captured some stag
Yeah.
soldiers. So like
like, this is a
maybe
dope
Pope
carriage.
people, yeah.
Yeah. No, in fact, you see like.
They're like good.
Somebody runs out into the street. It's like a small contingency of like 5 soldiers. You hear, ah, and suddenly a couple magic missiles blast off their chest. Some Oblivion come in, and then a couple of the mercenaries from Poolpay, and they're all like, and then suddenly like the swings slow down, and they're all like, they all turn and look.
Yeah, just
As the sloppy mud sounds of their feet. on the
Evening,
ground.
gentlemen.
Yeah, and then they see, this sight, these zombies, the skeleton, they all of them at once.
Evening.
Both sides of the battle just turn and like run away in different directions. So it's like this, they like left the fight because they were so scared of this strange sight coming from the back alley around at them.
classic pickles on weed.
They're like, what? All right,
like-
so you guys managed to actually make it through Poolpay between this combination of all your many powers. A scrambler runner by would pop out and just be like, and just turn back the way he came. This kind of cover of fear
Are
that's
we in the
going with you guys.
scarage?
It's like, do I want to go to the
Scarage.
Carriage.
Let's take the scarage to the grinder.
Yeah.
Scarage.
So you guys do manage to get through Poolpay, like all this, the relative sharing of knowledge and techniques and tactics that you get to go through the way. Nobody else really engages with you as you look through. As you watch, Enra, your high ability to investigate as you look through the crowds, you don't see any other noticeable members. No Mash O'Malley, no Taldessa herself, none of the kind of the faces that you've gotten to know in your time here in Poolpay. But you do see that it's like, there's even like some like young teen boys are like running out, like fighting for their land, fighting for the thing that's being taken from them, rather than, the army again of like really well trained. The military arm of the Kush Kingdoms has now turned in on itself.
Oh my gosh.
And so again,
Do we have eyes on the guy who makes the butt sandwiches?
butt sandwich guy. You're already in the worst part of town, so he'd be nearby.
Of course, is he open late?
No, he's
guys.
being tried for his war crimes. no, that man is in jail.
There's a giant ballista through his cart.
Yeah.
That was one of the targets. We gotta take those sandwiches out.
Only
No,
because,
it's like an imprint of the weird skull, like giant skull shape, because it's that dude that I have poisoned everybody up there, and he like found it and like smashed it.
He's like, Stag Army eats free.
Right.
He's just handing out weapons,
go,
weapons of
here you
mass
go.
I
destruction.
promise they're not poison.
Yeah.
I have an A rating for awful.
The card's name is I can't believe it's not poison.
I'm living on this. All right, so you guys managed to kind of make it through the walls. One of the many ballistas, you hear them every now and again. There are these loud explosions that you're hearing all around you. The loud twang of the tension, throwing these things as they blast into sources all around. One of them has like felled the wall near you. It collapsed down, and it's actually probably the best way to get out. You see Lumal across from you. Again, in the distance, in the expanse between, moving contingents of the stag. You don't see a lot of opposition out in the field. It seems like perhaps they've pulled in and like are trying to use a controlled position to offset the military advantage of this strong military force. You do see the stags are starting to set up like checkpoints though, like points at which by going through you would absolutely be addressed by a person. But it's still pretty early. Again, you guys haven't been gone that long. Like what started as a small thing turned into a big war, and then suddenly, missives were passed between powerful men, and suddenly people came charging in. You do see that there's kind of a gathering of stag army encampment around Saleh, and that would be where Tarnuk and the most of the Oblivion dwell. So it's like they are trying to separate those two powers from themselves in the light of what's occurring.
So they're the two forces that are fighting each other, kind of, or in the same area?
So yeah, I mean, right now they are bordering the outs. So Saleh, the central city, the jewel that everybody fights for, where the Master Nug is placed. That city is being surrounded by like the most of the army. Like they could, for a fact, they could send all of these guys in, and Pool Pay would be razed to the ground. Like it is strange to you that is not necessarily the approach that they're taking with the numbers that they have. That now they are rather surrounding Saleh, where both the Master Nug Kushara and the bulk of the Oblivion are. But remember, the city of Saleh is like what all these houses are always fighting over control.
Right.
Hrathen's Adelthor had the longest peace of any king, and for about 30 years.
Yeah, he did.
They've kept a tentative balance between the warring states.
So the stag have been doing something to this end because of martial law, right? So they're just kind of increasing the positions they're in?
Correct.
Okay.
As well as now insight, again, it's party knowledge, what we've seen with military training and photographic memory and everything. It's like it is now pretty clear the Oblivion have joined sides. A lot of them are going to Pool Pay, maybe to stop their numbers, maybe not just let them have an easy path by which to go join this fight, but also maybe they just want Saleh,
Right.
and so it's like, you can kind of see why the tension between the Oblivion and the House of the Stag would exist as well.
Yeah.
An alliance until otherwise necessary.
Yeah, and Mash, you guys have known what kind of man he is. It's like, this seems like a play right out of his book. It's like, I don't have what I need to hold the gates, so you don't know, what that deal might have looked like. He is a little of a shady man who's, lied to you, you've lied to him. And so, it's but this does have a Mash vibe. Like, he reached out to the person who could actually help him, and they helped him. Like, what that might look like is tricky.
That changeling poison was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
But it was delicious.
It was delicious.
Very good.
Blueberry?
Very
I did
good.
like it.
Capri Suns.
Yeah.
So just did not know, he made that juice somehow. So
Yeah.
I actually kind of do not want to know how he made that juice, but it was very delicious.
It was.
Don't tell me, please.
Yeah, those
A
berries.
sandwich.
The berries are grown in poop. Everything's just grown in poop.
I mean,
It's all
well,
poop.
isn't it?
It's all poop.
So, at this point, like I said, going across this space, this is where, and I would give you guys this obvious knowledge, like, this is where your cover that would get you through this kind of place might backfire. Now you've got a couple zombies on the roof, a skeleton driving the cart. You know what I mean? Like, it's not to say that but it is like a strange sight to see.
Time for a good old mess around. Everybody switch around. See?
We just stop right outside of town. Just hear
Fireman drill. Yeah, wee,
The sweaty splats. But yeah, so I just wanted to, again, that it's fair. Again, just the world around you would react to this how it may. And at this point, again, it's still a stag. That's not me saying don't do it, but you're still in a stag carriage. You still have all of the, the planning that you put into that originally. But I just, again, it's like that would be something where you're like, I don't know, perhaps this army wouldn't want to see a bunch of undead things moving around. Like,
do we switch around?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's change seats.
Let's change. Let's roll. Okay, cool.
We also have to be careful too, because we don't want to make it look like we're the stag necessarily, too, right? Depending on who we put outside, because your people are with the stag.
They used to be. They're with me now.
Okay.
and the grinder where you're going is on the outskirts of
Right.
Lumal, which is
Okay.
the stag's kingdom.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, okay. Okay, so that I am a scary boy, so
What the
I
fuck's a
can
smog?
continue being a scary boy until one of you can maybe stop, but maybe I don't drive anymore and the dead bodies go inside and the living people come on the outside now. Also, don't look at me!
They're like, what's that?
I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to like rearrange or whatever, however you guys want to do it, it's fine with me. I just wanted to give you that. I mean, you have that.
I can go.
So the
up
Benny
front.
Hill theme starts to play, and then we switch positions.
One of the zombies' pants falls down.
Yeah. And that is still kind of scary.
Everybody
So
keeps
anytime
running.
somebody comes up to it, they're like, "Oh my God!" It runs
You see
away.
them peel into the Benny Hill music. They run the other way.
Yes. We.
All right. So who's outside? Who's like visible from the?
I'll be visible.
Okay.
I think I'm not.
So you start riding up, and you see, again, there's like riding groups of knights clearly going to positions. Like it's like they have orders, and they're not really turning and paying you much mind as you come out. You see the kind of a group of soldiers at the front kind of turn back to look at like this thing coming out of Poolpay, but they see that it's a carriage of the stag. And just kind of like, and keep fighting, So you make it out into kind of the middle area between both Poolpay and Lou Mall. And that is at the first time where you notice suddenly a guy, rears back on a horse. He's got the green and gold helmet, but he's got like almost like the centurion wave. He's like a higher up.
Nice.
Kind of stops where he's riding, looks over at you, and is kind of riding up to you guys.
Trojan man.
He holds his hand up, and you see a couple other soldiers start kind of riding over to where he's at. He holds his hand up. Who goes there?
The helping committee?
We are the helping committee.
The helping
One at a
We're the
time.
helping committee.
No.
Are we not?
We are the helping committee.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, we're the
Oh,
helping
and you were like,
committee.
Do you
No.
not even know who you guys are?
We are the helping
Look,
committee.
we have had a hell of a day.
You see, he kind of like looks at these living, no, you guys hid the corpses. I'm sorry. So
Yes.
he's like kind of looking around. He looks at you, Lucian, and he kind of sees the order of your ghost slayers. And you see from the back, Rainier, the friend of Pickles, kind of lifts his like arm out of the window. It's like big and broad, and he kind of rolls his armor sleeve up a little bit. And you see the tattoo of the stag. And you see the captain kind of looks at it, looks at you, looks at the carriage. He knows whose carriage this is. This is Leos Broussard's carriage. And so you see he's like, "Are you off to see the captain?"
We.
What's that?
No, I catch it.
Tell him we are transporting dead bodies
We are transporting
from the battlefield.
dead bodies from the battlefield, and then
That's it.
that's it.
all we have to
That's
say.
and
all
then
we have
that's
to-
all.
And that's it? It sounded like there was more.
That's all we're doing right now.
I don't.
Zombie slap against the window. The one, because one was a stag, right? Yeah. Just like a.
Hey, you calm down back there.
That is one of the corpses that we are off to give a proper ceremonial burial to. That's
Ceremonial burial. That's hard to say.
what we do.
Oh, it's really hard for you to say.
Ceremonial. Pickle.
Say pickles?
No. I didn't say pickles.
I'm hungry.
You see, he looks around. He's like, "You do realize these are war times."
Yeah, this is dead
And
bodies.
just because it's wartime does not mean that we need to set aside what it means to be dignity and to show dignity to those that
Right.
have fallen.
Respect for those that have that.
You
So-
say these men that fell, stag men. Kind of like starts peering in the
get
cart
hurt?
a little bit.
Please be respectful of the privacy of the corpses. They're in there for a reason. We're not showing them to everyone,
Yes,
so
they
mind your
smell pretty
respect.
I can't make you roll deception for that because that's actually the truth. She's kind of like stops and looks at you guys. All right. But you look like a good fighter. Your boys, your men. Perhaps you should join the ranks sooner rather than later, once these heroes are given a proper burial.
Oh, yeah. Well, we actually got a pamphlet from a guy back there. We're thinking about signing up.
I want you. You see, he kind of settles back into the guards, look at him. They're all looking at it. They're like really glad not to be anywhere else. They're like, "Oh, what a good waste of time this has been." And he's kind of sitting there, and you see, he reaches down and he touches the satchel at the side of his horse. "I have other matters to attend to. Watch your backs. The Oblivion are everywhere."
Is that a threat?
Right, and he rides off. He's heading toward the central city. He's off towards Saleh. The two
Okay.
soldiers kind of.
Nice, and he's bringing his bag of dice. That's pretty sick.
Noise.
So,
He's gotta roll
from
for
that point, you ride, you see
Ah!
several other, groups of these soldiers ride by, but they don't pay you any mind. Everybody's so focused on their whatever orders they're receiving. And you see more and more, again, more of them coming out of Lumal. Not a huge defensive presence at Lumal. Like, most of the soldiers have been committed to surrounding Soleil and this battle that's going on in Poolpay. Some of them, as you hear, again, you guys have kind of a cover in here, and you hear some of the soldiers speaking, and it sounds like they're headed up to the north.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Get in
But
trouble.
why though?
You kind of come up to the Roman stone walls of the area of Lumal, around the outside. Around the outside.
Round the outside.
And you see the grinder, kind of sitting off against the southern trees, a little bit removed from the city. It is its own location. You have to ride a little bit past. You see almost everybody in the streets of Lumal is either a soldier running off or somebody at home doing some kind of help, making food to send to soldiers and stuff. But it's all new. This is fresh. This is what we trained for. This city compared to the one you just saw it's like this is what Lumal does. Sometimes battles against fey creatures, battles against the unresting and things of the like. This is the military city of the Kush Kingdoms proper.
Always prepared.
So you see the grinder kind of building up, going up in the horizon line. You guys pull the horses in. No sign of any stag guards or anything. Like, this area has still been left to your own devices. You kind of ride up and the carriage stops. You get out and there's the training grounds of your new Ghost Slayer Order, the grinder. Before you, what do you guys do?
What we came here to do?
Yeah,
just
what-
take the body out of here
take
and go.
the
Yep.
bodies out and store
You
them
see the
somewhere.
other order members, with great respect, each carrying one half of Drugal. They pull him out, and even still, he looks good, like even cut in half. And you realize you don't actually you have not established a graveyard. And so you see, they look at the training grounds, a place where their merits are tested. You see them look at the ceremonial chambers where the rituals take place, but that's actually inside. You can kind of see the hesitation within them, like, where do we bury? Like, this is the first time we've had to do this here.
Oh, you can do ashes. You can burn him.
Well, I was gonna say I'd like to freeze him in carbonite and then turn him into a door that's split down the middle so that when it opens, it's like the entrance into the
Just not on the
grinder.
floor.
Yeah.
Not on the floor.
Right.
No floor doors.
On either
Not
side.
floor. Yeah.
Floor door.
If you got something that could petrify or anything, like go befriend a Medusa or something, I'd allow it.
We'll look into that.
Yeah.
Well,
Just keep him on ice for now. Don't use chill touch.
It's necrotic.
Why?
damage.
Necrotic ranged attack.
it's clearly.
Not real.
It's not real. So you see they're down for like whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I just gave us the place to kind of regroup and kind of figure out what we want to do next, I think.
Do you want to say some words
About
for Hot
About-
Man?
Drugal.
Yeah.
Did you ever learn his name?
Drew Gall.
Ah, there it is.
I feel
I feel like you just learned that just
I
now.
feel like you just.
Oh no. I got my blade and I start playing with it in my fingers. I knew.
Even his corpse.
Was he, oh, was he one of your 1,000 deaths that you experienced?
He's not a changeling, so no,
Oh.
he's not.
So how did you know him?
Because we all work together?
Yeah, that was what she was responding
That's what
to.
I'm responding. Pickles was accusing me of not knowing his name.
Oh.
No, I knew
Because
his
she called
name.
him Hot Man, yeah.
What was that? I thought
Oh,
it might have been a firework.
could have been.
Firework?
Could have been one
Been a
of a
firework?
million or two that are going on.
It's kind of cool with like a war going on in the city, even though
It
it's not
is.
necessarily guns, but just having like the.
I just imagine that blades make gun noises in our world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boom blades.
Though.
Yeah.
So it's just swords.
all it is.
That's what swords sound like.
That's obvious.
Yeah.
Did we not tell you?
So yeah, I guess we just regroup here. Maybe.
So no words for
Uh,
Drew Gall?
No, I was gonna say we need to find a door. We need to find a door guy. What I really want to go with that Drew Gall front door. idea.
Mark knows enough about corpses. Like if you bury, you don't have to give him a full proper burial, but if you put him low enough where the temperature stays cold enough, you might be able to find a way to like, if you like legitimately want to like turn him into stone or bronze
Preserve.
him or something. Like, yeah, I would certainly allow.
Yeah, let's
This is your
figure
game,
that
man. You
out.
play it however. Sounds like something Nicole
I know. I was
would normally
like,
recommend.
okay.
So.
Yeah.
Rubbing
I'm
off.
sure there's like a cellar or something, you know.
You see, the men are like a little off-put by this decision. None of them, again, willing to question their rank at this point. But the idea of just like putting him in the cellar is causing them to be like, oh, well, if I die,
I'll turn you into part of the building. Don't you want that?
forge you into the grind.
That's dope.
You said we
Like,
could preserve them in the dirt, though, so it kind of looks like a burial. We can always go back later.
Right.
Let them be.
Dust them off.
But
Just put some tinfoil over him. He'll be fine.
they have ho-ho and cupcakes. Grab the halves.
There you go.
Chef
start
starts digging
scooping
with the
up.
little.
I was gonna say, and the boys can
clickities.
help. You
Yeah.
know?
You see, they all kind of stand. You know, again, Pickles, you and Rainier are very close.
We can have a ceremony of the
he has-
burial to preserve him for later to turn him into a door.
Well, let's do that.
that's
Let's
nice.
have
Yeah. I
that.
think
Let's have
that's
that
nice.
ceremony.
Yeah,
So
we-
you see, you know, the men kind of stand there and they're holding the body of their fallen ally. You know, they've got their hands are kind of wrapped around the pieces of him. Those zombies kind of carrying the parts around as you all kind of pick your spot. But you see, you know, it's like there's still the sounds of battle on the far off horizon. But in this moment, each of them is looking at what could have been their own death. And they're standing there at their training facility, kind of looking forward. And it's like, they don't know what to do. They're kind of frozen with fear. So what do you do?
He was so fucking handsome, wasn't he? I'll go behind Fear and Gold and Bezio. He's so goddamn handsome.
You see Fear and Gold laughs. Oh, it's all he ever talked about.
Wait,
At least
really?
he was humble.
The best at being humble.
He is such a good himbo.
Can we start joshing?
Yeah, give me a Josh check. We haven't. It's got to be with this dice though.
Can we all?
That's a 4th of July Josh check. So
4th of July.
Can we all throw it
Josh
together?
check?
yeah, here we go.
Okay,
Team.
we'll all throw it
There it is. Team 4
together.
Josh check. Let's go. Get them all together.
Okay.
All together. When your powers combine.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, we're doing a thing.
Oh, 4th of July, all 4 of us.
This is Josh.
My D20. I was playing with stuff.
Can't wait.
You
Let's see. Let's get it on. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Team set for a Josh during this sad event.
For this funeral.
1, 2, throw!
Oh, that didn't even spin.
We didn't even
It
finish.
didn't spin at all. That was pretty amazing.
That was like straight
we
up
taking
and
the
down.
9
I was
or-
trying to.
Yeah, we're going with the 9.
Got a
trying to
9.
flick
So
it.
again, you know, the power of Josh, not as it was a 9.
It's a 9.
Not as focused as the ferocious 5 who called upon the powers of joshing all the time. You know, Pickles, you recall a Josh and Sativan at another strange moment like this. It's like, man, this world is not as keen on dropping into
Not
a Josh
nearly.
in a sad moment. But again, this kind of like, that's what else do you do? Do you just like be sad about how horrible the world is, or do you find every reason you can to laugh? And so, although the magic effect we've had of joshing, you know, does not heal these men, they do realize that in camaraderie and friendship and joking at the oblivion that awaits us all potentially isn't the worst way to go through it. And you guys are trying to push as you dig the points, but eventually the body is set in the ground, and as the dirt begins to rise over them, you see each of these men, and even in your own hearts, the reality of this corpse in front of you. That seething monster could have ripped any of you into pieces
Any
with
of
the
us.
strength that you saw.
Absolutely.
And so it's it's almost like you're burying a fear of your own in the cold, wet earth around Lumal. You know, as you guys kind of end the ceremony, you see the men sit and they share a moment of silence. They kind of kneel down on the ground before you. You hear the of a carriage coming up the road.
What now?
Another one?
You look back. It's the same carriage that Elios was in after he gave you this carriage. So Captain Elios Broussard
I'm
is
about to
riding
get
up.
seduced.
Is riding up the road toward you guys. You know, he's riding along, and suddenly, he stops over by where you guys had stopped, a little far away from where you guys are. But you see the door opens, and he stands out. You know, his gold armor with the green accents all over it, kind of his short, wily, dark haircut, his intense eyes and tan skin, very Antonio Banderas-looking guy. Kind of steps out.
Sex pot.
And he steps on the side of the carriage and he's looking out. And he's like, he sees your carriage here and he's looking out to see you. He kind of locks eyes with you. And he's like, Lucian. And he starts walking over toward you. Seeing that there's some kind of ceremony, he's kind of holding back. Like he doesn't want to be disrespectful.
Hey, that's cool.
But you see Elios is there and he's kind of coming up through looking at what's going on. What do you do?
I mean, I'll let him know. I was like, yeah, we're burying one of our own. We lost one of our guys, and That's what we're here to do. We don't have the body of the dead king. What? Shut up.
What was that?
Nothing.
At the end,
You're
it sounded like there
super
was something
handsome.
right at the
Also,
end.
didn't illegally go into the forest.
No.
I'm
Sexy
not going
birds?
to accidentally say anything. I'm just going to.
No, I
sneak
just
a
whispered
cigarette.
it to Pickles.
That's good.
You see, he's looking around. He's like, I apologize for interrupting this moment.
I like
As you
that.
can see, things have.
Yeah, what's going on in the city? We kind of passed a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, what'd you do?
You see, he looks around at the other people present. And he looks at you, Lucian. Do you trust these people?
Oh yeah, this is the helping committee. That's like,
Yeah, we're down.
We help.
He says, I believe Lord Garaneth has gone mad. Shh. You guys suddenly, all your ears shut up. You look into the sky and you see like 3 different groups of ballistas flying towards your location.
oh shit.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to pick it up after
I saw it.
intermission.
I saw it on his face.
Fucking feel
I was like, oh, he's about to do it to us.
Oh no.
All right.
I love D&D. At least they're not dragon penises, guys.
Dirty Davy.
I think I
welcome
might
in.
have
So
preferred dragon penises.
Glad you could make it. It's 9 dragon
you
penises
sure?
flying away.
9.
Thank you so much, Drake, for the biddies. Mwah, mwah, mwah. We love you, beautiful biddies.
No,
All right, guys. We do us a little 10-minute intermission. Is it a D12?
No,
Never
it's a
end.
20.
We got a little 10-minute intermission we do here. Check out all the incredible, amazing art that's been created for and around the show. The beautiful music of Sandy Stein, who creates all our original music. Almost everything else that you hear in the show, atmosphere, things like that. That's Sirenscape. But all the music proper is Sandy Stein's. Brilliant, man. We will be back in 10 minutes. Got to fill up my water. Got to roll another joint. And then we're going to see what's happening with these ballistas launching at the party. We'll see you guys
going
in 10.
ballistic.
Pants party.
It's a ballista. Wow.
It's gonna be.
Welcome back, buds, to Weed&d, the pod positive live tabletop role-playing experience. Drew just made, like, with 1 second left, hit his chair like a professional. He is the best. That's why we're all laughing right now. What's up, Blackwater? So good to see you guys. We love you so much. Thank you for all your beautiful sharings of our posts and kind words. If you are not following Blackwater D&D, do it immediately. Like, do it right now. Right now.
Right this second.
Bakari, it's great to see you, bud. Always Cuba in the house, man. Munge is here. Tom, we miss you.
Miss you, buddy.
In Seattle. Currently, so go get him. Go find him there. Yeah, guys, we've had us quite an eventful little jaunt through some pretty intense stuff here in the old city. I don't know if you guys can hear all the fireworks that are going off, but like my neighborhood is ablaze with fireworks right now. So just consider it atmosphere for these crazy times that we're in.
Yeah.
Shoot, what do you guys say? You guys want to get back to it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
Sure.
Let's jump back in. You hear that air being forced through the sky around you as these large ballistas, these huge chunks of wood with sharp spikes at their tip, 3 groups of 3, 9 in the air in total, volleying toward this position at the southern end, near the grinder where you guys are currently having this burial ceremony. There we go. They start coming down near you. You hear Elios turns around, get back! And he runs over toward a cover of some wall and presses himself against it. Everybody make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Boop, 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 boop.
DC 15.
Okay. Nat 20.
That's a happy birthday credit right there, baby.
And a happy birthday shit crit.
Oh my god, and a shit crit too. Load him up, Sean. Hit him with that shit crit. We got a 20 and a 1. Oh, how the pendulum.
Oh my god,
swung.
wait, what did you
That's my
roll?
shape.
Oh, that's my
rolled a
name.
Right in the middle. Look at that. We're about balanced.
I got a 11. I rolled a 19 and then I add 8. For
Okay, yeah.
dexterity.
Yeah. All right, so anybody that got less, you see this hurling ballista starts falling towards your location. You see a couple of the first strike of the 3. One shoots right over your heads and blasts right into the recently repaired side of the grinder. You see it, smashes against the stone fortifications, working to its advantage. It simply breaks into a big part of it. Some of the wall crumbles away. It's not like it clears it all out. Right. These ballistas are sent more as a sign than than necessarily to destroy this. They could have used trebuchets and launched rock, but they are hurling through. You see one blasts into the building. Another one just lands kind of off in the trees near the line nearby. They're not super accurate with their spray. You can see they're kind of hitting a large area. And so the one that comes down, if you failed the saving throw, you see one lands right at your location. Elios jumps to the side, but Lucian, you kind of jump back. Your men all really quickly adapting to the battle position. For those of you not so ready for the battlefield,
I get to use my spider shoes because I super fast.
you just walk on one as it flies by.
Yes.
So if you failed, you take 4 damage. As it's not necessarily the spike that hits you, but it lands on the ground and starts rolling and kind of knocks the knees out from under you. You all look up. Elios turns and looks at you guys as you see a couple of the other volleys just launch right into the tree line. It's like shooting, and as you look, you see another group of them shooting outside. It's like he's just firing at the outside perimeter of Lumol. And what they happen to hit where you guys are now. You see Elios looks over at you and he's like, we should find a safe position. To the he doesn't know it's called the grinder yet. To the training grounds?
The grinder. I named it the grinder.
Grinder?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I hardly know her.
Oh, look at you shooting me the eyes.
Yeah,
okay.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
what? Ricari's dropping some gifts out. Oh, hi, Dad! I want to light a sparkler so bad.
Should we?
No, that's how I light the studio on fire. I freaking know it.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my goodness. I love a good height.
You can have height,
Okay, sorry.
right.
I was late.
Ooh, no, that was.
Needed that. That was good. That was good.
All right. So, this first volley of ballistas kind of crashes by. You see the formation of the building is holding, but like if a whole bunch kept shooting out, this could be a problem. Elios points you toward the inside. He says, is that where we should go?
I mean, I think so. He took that first one like a champ.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
again, the stone fortifications of the way, the building type of Lumal really plays the advantages against
So
ballistas.
these are the stags things that are hitting?
Indeed, shot
Okay.
from the
From the
the
stag.
inside of the city. You're kind of on the outside of it.
Okay.
It's a strange tactic, but yes, it does seem, it's like these volleys of ballistas are kind of hitting the outside perimeter of the city.
Seems like they're getting desperate.
You guys kind of run into the front door. It opens and settles behind you. The sounds of chaos kind of blocked by these stone, heavy doors that lock the sound. It's the first time the sounds of war aren't like filling your ears, and you kind of sit there listening, to hear if there's another volley coming, glancing out the windows. Your men immediately go to positions, set up by the door, looking out the window, and they're prepared to alert you if any other shots come your way. You're all kind of sitting in there, and Elios turns. He looks at you. He's like, Lucian, I do not know what Lord Hildebrand is doing. He seems to be picking fights on all sides. We have regiments going to Cordeaux. We have regiments dying in the streets of Poupée. And yet he seems content on surrounding Saleh. When this is through, Saleh would be ours. No one could stand against the stags. But why is he fighting on all fronts? Men are dying, and he does not listen to my words.
Honestly, if I find out that this motherfucker is having some issue with hags, I'm going to be really fucking pissed off.
The hags,
Yes,
You
the
speak
eggs.
of hags.
Yes,
the people in the streets here have talked of a strange woman wandering the streets.
God damn it, son of a...
Oh!
It's too heavy! Fucking blood!
That's a real life failed strength saving or athletics. Because you see, he's like,
Sorry.
she offers strange wisdom in exchange for trinkets.
What does she look like?
An old woman, gray hair, soft skin. I believe they call her Ruha.
Oh, God.
I was like this hopeful that it was going to be someone else's name. I was like,
Right.
Deborah.
It was like this? Ah, okay,
Who
cool.
is Deborah?
it doesn't matter. Like, it's fine.
Just a big exhale. Oh, good. It's just Deborah.
Okay.
Deborah's a good hag.
Yeah.
She's like just a good lady.
It's gotta be a good one. She's like, wow, I just like power. Come
Right.
on.
Come on.
So she's exchanging what's for what? What is it again? What?
She's, the whispers in the
Knowledge or-
streets are that she will give you, magical fortune telling, and like she's offering basically like hidden wisdom in exchange for strange trinkets,
Like what?
bowls of milk and honey, small stuffed dolls, straw people, withered together, rationed. It doesn't, there seems to be a great amount of offerings,
Weird.
like the stories of the
So-
old woman in the woods.
So she's just trying to be a dickhead and probably stir the pot with lots of people at once for nothing, right? Because she gets something out of causing havoc or wreaking havoc. What kind of fortunes is she telling? Is she telling people, like, fight another army? Did she talk to the king?
Some say they speak of being told of when they will die.
Ugh.
Others of the future they wish they could see.
I feel like no matter how many people die right now, they are not crossing over anyway.
Crossing over. I do not understand.
Let me explain to you. I am
Guys,
the
now is
Sesh.
not the time to fight.
I am sorry. I have had visions of seeing death being unable to let spirits cross over and cross through. So this war is very concerning to me because I just do not know if these spirits are crossing over, and when spirits don't cross over, there has something to do with their blight. Sorry, my cigarette.
Oh my god.
It's okay, it's stone floors.
Have train success.
So
Noise.
Thank you guys, we love you.
So, as you see, maybe we need to talk to the king and see if maybe he spoke to this bitch, hag, and we will see if maybe he was influenced by her, because I'm sure he's got some sort of hag bullshit going on now, right?
I have not seen him with this old woman. He seems obsessed with this martial law. I told him it is too soon. Let the people see the strength of us as we protect them from the unresting. They will surely rally to our side. He had me removed from the room. He has never been the same. Some weeks ago, he changed. He became hungry for conflict. Spoke of asserting our power instead of defending. There is dissent among the ranks. Some soldiers do not wish to take power this way. They believe themselves the rightful rulers of Soleil, but not like this. Not like this. Sorry.
Motherfucker.
Not like this. I can only say, perhaps he has gone mad.
Did he happen to meet with Davos around the time that he changed?
Or the king, right? The king only died so long ago.
The king was the
This is the guy that also left the post, right? At the forest when we had that conflict that happened, right?
It does me no pleasure to reveal this to you, Lucian, but times are dire. I did witness a meeting between Lord Davos and Garaneth Hildebrand. They told my soldiers to leave their post. It was around that same time the Stag army saved the kingdoms. At a war at that very
You
tree
thought
line.
something was, Anna, you listen, nobody, what were we supposed to do? You were not willing to fly. Anyway.
What does flying have anything to do with that?
Standing on the wall.
What is, I don't understand what that has anything to do with the fact that I was right.
Garaneth fears the uprising. Torn up the all-eye, these oblivion. They stand against everything we believe in. Give the power to the people. Lucian, I told you. We give food to the starving, and they kill each other. Leave them in control? There is a reason the hierarchy exists. You lead your men, I lead mine. The royal families understand things that others don't. Perhaps they both feared it so much they allied themselves.
Maybe. There has to be some order to things. You can't just give power to the people ultimately, but
We understand.
how do you bridge that gap? How do you find the balance?
Indeed.
Seems like the balance would be working together with these people that you want to be in charge of instead
But
of
you
working
can't
with.
make people work with other people.
You also can't
if they don't
assume
want
that people
to.
aren't willing to work with other people.
And I'm willing to do that. I'm just saying, some people won't be swayed and they'll die in the streets.
Seems like you're writing fate before we try anything.
I'm not really a writer. I'm not the writer of the group. You want this guy for the writing.
Well, regardless, there is something bigger than all of this that is coming our way, and it looked like the hags are trying to bring it upon faster, you know? So, right now, I think we need to figure out what to do about this king. If there's a way that we can meet him somewhere or find him. Has he
So there's
been-
Lord
what is-
Lord Commander. I'm sorry, yeah, because there's a lot of
Right,
royal
Lord
lineage.
Commander.
Lord Commander
Garaneth
Garaneth Hildebrand is in charge of the Stag armies.
Yes.
And then Davos,
Yes.
who is battling with his sister for rule
Sticks.
of
Yes.
Bordeaux.
Mark's half brother.
Yes, those two are kind of fighting over the ruling that house.
Okay.
So
The
there is no
Lord
proper
Commander.
king right now. That's kind of like what's floating in the
I
air.
see,
Right.
I see. I was
we have the
when I
king's vibe.
thought of this, I was thinking the king of the ruler of this area.
Yeah, Lord Commander.
Yes, the
yeah,
Lord,
yeah. 'Cause they do like a military.
the Lord Commander.
The Lord Commander. Yes.
Yeah, oui. So maybe it is about seeing to this man. Who is the person that has been missing for a very long time? I just remember.
Rax
Royal
Royalbane.
Okay, like he's been gone for a while.
Yeah, the leader of was supposed to be leader of Poolpay. Mash O'Malley, your patron, is kind of serving in his stead right now.
Do you know anything about the guy that is missing from Popeye, the ruler there?
I know very little of Poolpay. I do not like my boots covered in shit.
Well, that makes
And
sense.
yet you deal in politics. I will say this though.
Damn, good one.
Oh,
Classic Pickles always
Shit, that one,
same.
boom, that one hurt.
roasted.
That one hurt, Pickles.
But all I am saying is that, just you must know something. Like, if there is a person missing and then your lord is also being, having all these other conflicts, like, you are still aware of the goings on in other places because that's tactics,
We.
So, do you have any intel or thoughts about this vaccine gone man? I'm not from here. I'm trying, listen.
No, there's a lot of names, I get it.
Yeah, I'm just a bit familiar. I do not know, like.
Rax Royal Bane?
I'm from, another place.
Would you believe, Pickles, if someone told you they inherited one of the greatest positions on Earth in a game of chance?
Because I do not know you, so I would just have to go by your word.
You are like many. They also agreed. And this story of the mercenary king who took over Pompeii after a game of cards. Many people believed it. I never counted myself one among them. I have never seen Rax Royal.
I was going to ask if even this man is even the person that is even existing.
I have only heard stories of him. Stories I am not inclined to believe. But the people of Pompeii, they rallied around him. He was one of them. He climbed ranks that normal men cannot. And it maybe gave them strength.
Mark's shoulder pad is vibrating. The Croatia skull is just practically like.
Stop saying his name. So I do not know. Perhaps he leads from the shadows. Perhaps he is the shadows. I do not know.
Oui. I feel like I have not been here for very long, but lots of things all happened at once, and for people not to try to put any lines between those things, and for these kingdoms or whatever, these places are not working together to see why all these things are happening at once is kind of beyond me.
The speech that I gave everybody in the beginning of this campaign.
Instead, they're all fighting each other.
You
Just
see,
fighting in the
Because-
streets.
And as we all know now, we are very aware, at least the helping committee is very aware, it's going to all not matter very, very soon if we do not go after the hags to get them to stop it! Quit it! Nope. I hate it.
you see, he kind of laughs. He goes, Pickles, you are not from the kingdoms, I can tell. Where you hail from, I will leave to you. But this is the way the world works here. It was the king that stopped us from behaving this way. It was always espionage and murder. It was always one house against the other. But Aglthor kept it balanced. It is his absence from this place that allowed things to return to how they so often go.
Like a bunch of spoiled children.
Exactly. Those who toil for power seek nothing else. And they lose what it means to be alive in the process. I fear Garanith does not fear death anymore. And that he just wants to see it end.
Okay, well. I appreciate all of your intel. We lost a very hot man today, so it was nice to see another hot man.
You see, he's like, no,
I know, I'm very sorry.
do not tell me.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
It was Epheso, right? Or like Cortex. Nobody even really.
I
They're like
wish it
waving
was.
at him.
I said
Can't
it
even
straight
look
to
at
Ephesios' face. It's like, God, why couldn't that have been you?
Not beautiful Rainier, not that big lovable.
Oh
ethereal-
no, my sweet man, no, he's okay.
he
Yeah,
is the
he's
best.
alright. He's
Yeah.
alright.
Yes.
See, it's
Wonderful
funny. A 10
hugs.
or like a 15 doesn't recognize an 11 even. That's hilarious. That's what we are witnessing right now.
No, not
Oh, yeah.
fear and gold.
Oh, no.
You see, like standing right there.
No, it's beautiful.
Bro, I'm the second best looking guy in the room.
You see a single tear rolls from his eye as the truth of Drogal's demise becomes
Sinks
apparent to
in.
him.
Yep.
Is that the burial that this madness interrupted? Then I must pay my respects. I knew his father.
Oh, just like that. All these like it's like so dramatic. All of a sudden, the lighting changes.
Raises into the sky.
Just one hot man mourning another hot man, like in hot matrimony.
You see, he says, I fear our time is short. Things are moving quickly. But I will support you in what you intend to do. You are the only people who seem to see beyond the veil of what is right in front of them.
Just trying to help.
You see, it looks around. I will allow you to speak, and I will see you outside. He opens the door and he goes off to the burial area of Drogal.
Smoke show.
Okay.
Well, shit.
So, what are we going to do with the king's body, Mark? Have you been thinking about that at all? I know there's a lot going on, but have you given that any thought?
There certainly is in the politics of everything. That's the most frustrating part. It's an ever-present problem, but I feel like the Blight's going to catch up much faster than that. If we have any ideas of how we want to tackle the hags, I suppose after that's something we handle, perhaps we come back and deal with the minutiae of it all. If not, I think I would... Things seem to have gone out of balance when we lost the king. Let's bring back the king. We've got him.
Yeah.
You're just trying to bring everyone back.
No, he's here. It's cool, guys. It's cool.
Everybody,
It's fine. Rax Robate, he's hanging out with them.
I mean, at least he is not in the unresting forest anymore, at the very least. I don't know what that means about
Physically,
the king
at
that was
least.
Yeah.
Remember, you
body,
did know,
right?
your knowledge of necromancy. It's like it being near that, it would make him stronger, ostensibly, to this magic. So, having removed it from his land, a fair assumption that would have influence on his
Fair
land.
bear assumption.
Is there any way, Mark, that we can figure out what caused his death? Because I know that's big up. That's the big question,
Poison.
right?
Like, who did
Well, there
it?
is
Poison.
like there's like it could be
There
you
was
know
I did check. I checked the body, and there were several causes of. There were several like wounds inflicted onto the corpse
Okay.
to throw things off. But it's been.
Could you tell like
it's been a
time,
month.
like the time
It has
when
been a
each
month.
happened?
Yeah.
Everyone in the carriage.
Okay.
We're going to talk to the king. All right, are you ready, king? In 3.
All right.
Speak with that.
I gotta put on some ghost whispers.
Oh my god.
Ghost whispers.
Ghost whispers. And a little unsettling.
Ghost whispers.
All right.
Can I ask the first question though? Is that all right? I know we only get 5.
It's your
but
dad, man.
That
Do
was
what
the
you
first
want. You know
question,
what?
so
You
thanks for
ask.
waiting.
I just only wanted to have dibs on one.
We don't
Wait,
know.
no. The spell fails if the corpse was. Oh no, that's the target of it. We did this. We've done this. Corpse of your choice.
did this.
5 questions.
Bring treats.
We've
to the
done
hags.
this
That sounds
before.
like something hags would say.
Dope.
Right.
I love D&D.
Wait
All right,
a
so you
minute.
you kind of look down and there's this this moment where
Hold
you look
on
at the
a
ring
sec.
on your finger, the signet ring of the king. The bloodline that you are somehow attached to. You've spoke with the essence of this creature, at least it told you, in a recent vision as you were pooled in shadow. You feel that strange shadow, that power flowing through your veins that you felt when you put the ring on, the fear of its absence as you look down on the corpse in front of you. Speak with dead. You emanate the ghost whispers that fill the lungs of this undead frame. The eyes open. And your recent channeling to this entity through this dream magic in the shadow, you see rather than normally, the eye sockets start glowing. They start, oh no, Mark, no! Not your dad too. Family.
Not everybody.
Is that
He's
a
got a family.
gory
Weird.
dog?
Oh my God, thank you.
Weird family.
Thank you. I can't take that back from having been said. But they start glowing with the light blue fire of the unresting, the same as the eyes of the king that you witnessed when this stag army raid began.
Oh my God! Is it just him? Like, hey.
It's a little different than the last time you cast the
sorry.
spell, where really just the wispy air coming from the lungs, spoke it. In this case, you sense there is like a bit of a presence as the body sits up and looks around. Normally, it doesn't move very much either, and you see its head just turn, and it just
Oh my God.
settles in the seat in the carriage, seating like a king at a throne. And then you see the body settles once more, but the eyes still burn, the air still blows. What are your 5 questions?
Oh my God.
Is he like mostly scared? What did we do with the body again? Like, I'm trying to.
We didn't deface it at all.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
There was talk of some
I
pretty
know we
horrible
talked a lot
things.
about it, but I wasn't
We talked a
here.
big game
Nicole's
about
been thinking about it
I
ever
couldn't
since.
remember. I'm like, is he
I look
like
in your
a
notebook.
skeleton?
She's all
It's just
excited.
the body
There's like
was how we
sketches.
did. Yeah.
You're gonna
Could've
slide it on your
done that.
pinky. I'm gonna put the signet ring back on
The king
on
bling.
his finger while we
Oh,
got him.
dope.
Okay.
You see he's kind of
Wait,
sitting there.
did you just marry Brandon?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Surprise fireworks!
Happy birthday,
Oh my God.
America.
Finally got me.
First
Every day he tries.
Yay.
This
And
was the one.
It
This
took
was the one.
Independence
Two
Day for
bros
me
just
to.
being
Sorry,
married.
Steph. I'm marrying
official.
him apparently.
The camera just zooms in on you.
You slide the ring on the finger, and the corpse that had
And
stopped
it just
moving suddenly
explodes.
just. You see it moves.
Oh.
With a finesse unlike a zombie or a skeleton, and you see it settles back in the throne, and now starts looking around at you.
Oh,
You
that's
see he closes his fist around the ring. Ask your questions. Have your answers. I am entertained by you, child. The rivers around you flow in so many directions, and yet you chart your own course. A ghost slayer. One of the shifting ones. I honestly don't know. That was.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Still covered in blood, by the way. I just remembered that. Still like
Yeah.
just this bloody.
A little bit of
Slightly
It's like
wrung
dry.
out.
Oh my God,
It's like
guys.
dry now, yeah.
We all have blood robes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You looked down, you all forgot. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was bad. No, but no, you see, it's just like a little
Obviously
perplexed.
not bad enough.
Your magics grow strong, boy. But hold the things I could teach you. It's good to see your mother again. And he just lingers, staring at the skull. It kind of startles him out of the trance.
Teach me what?
I almost forgot what it was like to have a body. It's burdensome, unnecessary. Balance, much easier with no form. Life is more of a hindrance than a help. Wouldn't you agree?
Is that one of your questions? Do you have a question with it? And I also forgot that with us going into all this, the corpse is in a shitty disguise with a horrible mustache and a hat. So the king thinks he's all like,
Twiddling a
Yeah, like
dagger.
we're all just sitting there like, oh, because
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Yeah. It says dick on his head. He's like,
He's like, I'm entertained
I
by
am the
you. We're like,
coolest.
again, trying to respond with statements because of his venture into this unbodied fate. So long as we don't deal with hags.
Can I pull my eyeball up and just see if I see anything weird?
She's like right next to him in the carriage.
So you hold you take the ruby out and you start kind of putting it up in front of your eye. You feel it vibrating.
Cool.
And as you pull the ruby up, you can see the exact spectral form of the king that you witnessed in the Unresting Willows. It is like through this magic and, again, Mark's connection with him and everything, he is somehow present in this moment.
Oh my God.
Dang.
I like bring it over to Pickles. Look at this.
You see at the mention of hags, he's not noticing.
Just no, just like no
He does seem
face.
angered. His fist clenches.
Put it in my pocket.
And he's just kind of thinking about hags.
Oh, guess what? We also, the open committee hates hags. Oh,
hate
we fucking
hags.
hate them so much. We hate them so much. I just want to assure you that we also could just tell that your energy, even though you are all energy in this moment, shifted and you did this thing, and I want you to know.
Same page.
Same.
Yeah.
Do you know what I hate about hags?
Tell us.
Second
sorry,
question.
Here we go.
Second question from him.
Go ahead.
No, he
don't
asked
say
that.
what, but we.
Oh, right.
You see, he turns and he looks. He's impressed with you in this moment. He was doing exactly that,
Trying to steal a question.
trying to steal questions. He just stares at you, the blue eyes burning with the fire of the unresting, your presence with undeath. You can feel that he's there more than the whispers of the soul of a thing floating adrift. This has form. The ruby.
I put it back in my pocket.
He says, undone, which is what you say when you win in a game of spliff.
Spliff.
Undone. In a game of wits. You did really well. 5 questions.
Oh, we got one back.
Ask them.
Don't tell him.
And you see
That was our brain whisper.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I've turned on Brain Whisper.
just so you know, I just
Sonic
assume
whisper.
Brain Whisper's off.
It's always on when I'm allowed
Especially if we're
to have it.
interrogating anyone, let
Yeah.
alone the ghost of the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, you are able, again, privy through the soul knife, the mind link of our Shay, Mira, and Ra. You guys do have like a way by which to communicate that the king would not hear.
So you said you wanted the first draw.
Yeah, you definitely wanted the first question, so
Claim
that's
it.
all you.
It's true. I just want to. Did they get to see what I saw? Because our minds are linked.
No, because it's not. Yeah, it's not, you don't get the. That's like, we did that with some of the dream stuff.
Dream
but,
stuff,
yeah.
right. Okay.
Dream
So,
stuff.
Pickles and I just want to describe something we've learned recently. I looked through my eye thing with the ruby, and your dad is very extreme right now. He is just.
He looks
you
like-
know,
He stinks.
He looks
He
like
is.
an
Like, if
avocado
that-
had
if
sex
a lot
with
of
an
stuff
older,
coming off of him.
more
If
belligerent
that-
avocado.
Yeah, if that movie it shows you who stinks, he is reeking.
It's just. Wah!
He fucking freaks.
It's a lot like what we encountered the first time around at the forest.
Oh.
So you guys know.
It's
Got it.
making that rock. It's making the rock vibrate.
Shaking a lot. Put it in my pocket and I still feel it.
My question I had in mind. Cell phone vibrating.
Well,
Fucking like that.
Slap in your pocket.
You don't know how to.
Ma'am,
I don't,
your-
I don't know how to turn
I've never.
your table has been ready for 10 minutes.
I don't know how to turn it on. I don't know.
Don't sit here and play
We're
games.
gonna give the booth away, okay?
I don't know.
You see, again, as you guys kind of have this communication around him, you see he kind of is looking around at the link between your minds. He can't hear it. You
are
know
we
enough.
boring?
It's
But
like,
he-
you know how the
yeah.
magic works.
He's like, "God
but
damn
it is like he is
Staring
aware.
at guy.
Right. Sorry.
Like it's he knows what you're
Undivided
doing, right?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. All right. Go on.
Well, the question I had on reserve, just to let you all know, is just to confirm this is the same ghost of my father.
Yes.
That
Oh God! No, I'm kidding. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
you.
I couldn't help it. I can't hear it. I got you. That's one. 4 questions. 4 questions. Pop. I got the ring. Just the ring.
I got you on the ropes.
I'm only allowed to link with 3 creatures, so he's not invited.
Wow.
Now you see his bum.
Oh.
Your friend's kind of a bitch, bro.
Someone just lost their evitation in my
I
barbecue.
just am assertive.
You're like, yeah, that's how the spell works,
Just
bro.
how it works.
He's like, dang it. I don't like these friends of yours, son. Get him out of my pool.
Okay.
Do you have a new
First,
one?
do we want to know
Yeah.
how he died? What happened to cause his
Or who killed
physical
him
end?
specifically?
I'm having a feeling it might have been himself if we're between
That'd
it,
be
or he arranged it.
Ah!
But
Yeah.
that's my hunch.
If he unalived himself by some creative means.
Right.
We.
Yeah, I want to know.
Well,
that.
all right to ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also curious if he
you
knows anything
oughta
about
know.
the shifting council and why they would have switched his body.
That can be
You want to on-base that for number 2?
Something like that.
Yeah, well,
Go for
He
it.
We
gave
do
us
know
that one on
they
deck.
don't know. Okay, normally I just want to explain because this
Okay.
is this is like hypersensitive. The spell does not allow them to speak of anything that happened after they died. Now you know this is a different case right now. You're not speaking
Yeah.
with the air of a soul. You are speaking with an embodiment. What you've learned by looking and both your connection to it. So
Is this the meeting with the king that we've been like waiting?
That's what
that
I'm
we were like
wondering.
waiting for? Like, okay,
I'll ask
Is
that
that-
one. I'm wondering that.
that's 3. Oh,
More birds, more sexy deaths.
I'm already done. I did it. It's all over.
All right. Start your questions and the most make your thoughts from there. Go.
Right, father.
Turns and looks, the intense burning eyes that kind
quick.
of scream at you from inside this corpse.
What quite specifically brought you to this state? What tore you from your mortal form that we have the pleasure of speaking with now?
That is a complicated answer, but I trust your mind. You have the sharpness of the Aglafort kings. It would be a lie to say that anyone stole my essence. It would also be a lie to say I did not have my hand in it. Just as this storm rages in this miserable city, to allow the waters through on your own terms. My rituals, I learned the method by which to join the unresting. So though I did not kill myself, I prepared my body and simply allowed those that wished to kill me to finally succeed, lest they all feel the blame. That guilt that drives the living mad. Such a shame to only have one small life, easily corrupted. Kingdoms made of sand, but an undying empire built for a king that can hold a peace. That was my final answer. I shall rule these lands long after people forget your stories. I will create a true peace.
You could have. Shame about the hag, though.
This
Really
fist
fucked up there, pups.
Everything ends. Nothing is forever.
This fucking guy thinks he's gonna rule shit, then
Yeah.
the light's gonna kill all of us.
I mean,
so okay.
though that, Pickles, though, he makes a point that would bring peace, right? Because
I
there's
guess
nothing.
there's nothing,
Nothing.
and nothing is pretty peaceful.
Be oblivion. That's their whole thing. They're like, I mean, nothing's.
We're going.
Nothing.
True,
Yeah.
but also sometimes there is some stuff to stick around for. So okay. What's
All right, next.
Oh, that's 3. No, I'm kidding. You didn't say it. No, there's DMs that play that way. It drives me crazy.
Did you still want to ask about the shifting council? And
Yeah, how do we ask it in a way where we could get
because
a
how
good
long was the
answer?
king?
Well,
How long did
because-
Aglethor rule for
there
before?
wasn't there a white flower around his grave or something like that? So that makes me believe that they also maybe
Fleur.
like everyone wanted to kill him, right? So like maybe it would behoove you to find out why they wanted or how they did it.
You know history as well. So 40 years was the reign of Aglethor. There was 30 years of peace. It took him 10 years. He was in his young 20s when the events of the Bloodhounds Massacre took
That was
place.
50 ago.
His
right?
father ordered that. He then inherited a kingdom that had a shared enemy. And bolstering that using the fear of changelings, he caused a tentative peace that lasted for 30 years.
Did he do that by working with the Shifting Council?
Nope.
And then Drew's a changeling.
Gotcha! And that's where we'll
I have a feeling that
Tonight's gonna be a good
night. That there's more going on. We've heard kind of in the Shifting Council than I've ever been aware of because of the rank that I'm at, and I have a feeling that there are a lot more amongst us that I even been aware of, and I wonder if the king was in on it. Is where I'm coming from.
I'm wondering as well. Learning about Kracia, my mother, the changeling. I feel bad. We're all like in the carriage, just kind of like looking at each other and thinking really hard. And the spirit of the king.
He's
fine.
He's doing something.
He got his ring back. He's just playing with it.
He's
fine.
delighted.
There's like not enough skin, so he's like pulling it from other fingers.
Do I make it fit again?
Apparently,
Takes his earlobe and like stuffs it back.
back up finger.
Oh, no.
Ah, great.
Apparently, my mother, as a changeling, was a replacement for the Baron Queen. And that's all I know about that, other than Davos still being the bastard son, and myself being the other. With her being a changeling, is that
Makes you both half.
Was that on purpose?
was that an initiative of the Shifting Council?
I mean, it would make sense, I think, to have someone who is part, not fully changeling, but like that is, you're literally melding things together because of what you are made of.
Changelish.
Changelish.
I mean, should we at least ask what the Shifting Council means to him?
There is a chance he knows nothing, so it's a very risky question.
It's worth a chance.
Let's
Do
just go
something
for it.
crazy.
Let's-
Okay.
Let's do something crazy.
We haven't done something crazy in a while.
Do some crazy.
What the heck? Whoa, bro! What the crap?
We just start kissing him. We're like, kisses just on his head.
He's a king. He's down.
He's like,
I love
You take the ring off, and he's like Frosty the Snowman.
Oh no!
Falls, you put it back on.
so right now, Enra. Hey, Shay. Enra, ask away.
What do you know of the Shifting Council?
That is a large answer as well.
We have time.
Do you?
Yeah, just
Such
unless you
a
keep
nice
stalling.
carriage. Lovely carriage.
Are you just
Lovely
This carriage
It all
has air conditioning. We keep it as cool as it
You
is.
charge us by the minute, right?
Yes. The council took advantage of fear. The powers of the shifting are dangerous in a political world. Oftentimes, those are changed without even their families knowing. So efficient are they at their skills. I've heard rumor that the massacre of the Bloodhound was ordered at their hand. That type of tenacity is terrifying. And so when I sought
my end. My wife barren, my kingdom growing old. They replaced her with a woman named Kresha, whose skull rests now on my son's shoulder. I cannot tell you what they've done, for they would never admit it to me. But they do it well. And they have their hands in all of this. If what I need is death, they could be my closest allies. And I might not even know it. They are everywhere. They are anyone. I believe they have answers for you that I cannot provide.
And he settles back.
It's a lot.
Okay.
That was a large answer. He wasn't lying.
I know, why does he talk for so
King
long?
checks out,
This is great.
guys.
This is great. Okay. Is there any?
We've got the two, right?
This dude.
Yeah.
Dude. So he died a month ago.
Yeah, and like some days now. Like remember, there was the ceremony that the first party you went to was like in lieu of that.
And
a month.
he is a king, so he knows maybe about other places. Does he know about things that could have happened?
Aglthor would be a world power. So
Okay, cool.
perhaps have access to that. knowledge.
Pickles takes a minute and is like, does. I'm going to ask it. May I ask a question?
That's 3.
No! I stabbed myself with my pencil.
Oh no!
I'm gonna die of lead poisoning. It's fine.
Graphite poisoning.
You're sitting there with blue glowing
Oh,
eyes.
thank God.
And then I'll be coming undead. It'll be awesome. Hey, my friends, in my little whispery mind, can I ask a question to this guy? Oh, cool. Okay,
Sure.
do you know anything about what may have happened in Sativan?
The reports I've received from Sativan say they will not open their gate and risk the spreading blight. Those fools. Without their resources, my people starved. Once again, the living are so hard to keep alive. The blight spreads. And because they are old stories and ancient rumors, people laugh.
They sure fucking do, man. Fucking, first of all, we hate hags together, and it gets frustrated by. So we are on the same page.
Found one of your seething. Took care of it.
I could not do the same.
We're here to help.
What we do?
It is, from what I understand, it is the decision of Sativan to keep the doors closed because if Sativan does go down, then there is no food anywhere ever.
There is no food now. People oft do not worry about their future bellies being full. They care about now. I grew too old. Could not keep them from starving, growing angry. It is the problem with all your foolish kingdoms, Sativan included. It is life that is the enemy, as is the blight, the enemy of life. I have heard rumors that the Dark Ones, the Laughing Ladies, the Coven of Hatred, they seek to bring the former queen back. Mab is no friend to this world. She gives us magic to save her from her own damnation. Her sister could have been a valuable ally. And it was upon this that my deal with that old woman was brokered. She intends to see the world covered in blight, reborn in the image of the bride of the Demigorgon, the now fallen Queen Titania. Sotivon has already played its part, even if they don't know it yet.
Three. We have two more.
Good question.
Popcorn.
This is every DM's dream. Like, are you gonna, yeah, ask me questions about cool stuff that the Skink would know.
That was a really good question, guys. It was super entertaining.
Does anyone else have one off the cuff? We got 2 left. I have one in mind, but I don't want to steal the slot for
What do you have in mind? Share it in the mind.
share it in the in the mind chat.
Oh, one sec.
I'm curious about Rax Royalbane. His disappearance was about a month ago, right when Father died. And supposedly he's the one that killed Mother. His disappearance was very quick, and we've seen these letters, and they match. It's supposedly him. I'm curious. I'm also curious why your order is the
I was gonna say,
secret ingredient for
If we
for
got
these
time.
hag experiments.
yeah, if we got time for that question.
Those
then
seem
maybe
like
that.
2 very good questions.
That could be asked as the 2 questions
We
we
have
have left.
right. Up to you.
That's 2 for
Up
2.
to you.
That's great.
What was my question again?
Got it. That's 1.
Curses.
So we're trying to find out what happened with my order, essentially.
Why
Why
they in
the
particular are
hags
the
are-
ingredient for
For
this
the-
conversion to the seething.
Seething. I was like, yeah.
I will say, and before we present this question, like Tabitha was very, very interested in you and your order, and she was also trying to join the coven.
Right.
Turns out I made a friend, and
No. You can make friends out of anybody.
Guys, the question.
Literally, he can make friends.
Skeleton's just no breath. That's just
No breath, yeah.
So yes, do you? I guess I'm gonna ask it then. Do you know what my order, the Order of the Ghost Slayer, what their demise had to do with, I guess, the process of the seething coming to be?
It's too late now.
The orders that sent your order.
Sorry, that's just how those words go.
Is it?
The orders that sent your order to their demise were my own. It was
What was that?
only the word of the king could move the entire order. Had I known you were out on your little trip,
Oh my god.
I might have waited.
Oh my god.
Bruja made me a deal. Their bodies for immortality.
He's just making deals with everybody.
Yeah.
Your blood is magic. The searing hatred of the other indoctrinated into your bodies. Your rituals put you closer to death. And so, the perfect testing ground to unleash the destroyer of all. Your order died at her hand, but it was my hand that penned the letter.
Someone else can ask the question. Another question.
Mark, it's your turn. Quick, please.
Mark.
I'm sorry.
Oh god.
So, little quickie to send it off here. Supposedly, Mother said she was murdered by Rax Royalbane, who disappeared around the time you did. Any knowledge of that? Rax Royalbane?
Your mother did not lie to you. It was the dagger of Rax Royalbane that slit her throat. A dagger that my hand may as well have held. For, once again, you see the bigger game being played, my son. Rax Royalbane penned many letters, as he does still to this day, sent by my agents through the woods. That handwriting on the letter, and you see sniffs the air. In your bag, little one.
Yes.
I know the smell of that ink very well.
It's weird. Right? It's so stinky.
She looks at his fingertips.
I was the stinkiest one!
Not by
That's
my
where-
eye.
Thank you.
Stink hanger.
You're welcome.
Merci.
You see, he says, yes, Rax Royalbane killed your mother, and I made Rax Royalbane. And so, like the blade of that horrible hag woman killed your order, so too did mine. Take your mother.
Such a bad guy.
I'm gonna mage hand the fucking ring back.
All right, you see he stops it. And that's like, you see it's like he's trying to use his real power of his real energy, but he's not actually fully here. And so it's like it starts sliding on his finger, and you see he reaches and grabs it with his other hand. He's like, "It is mine. I will rule this land for." And it floats off into your hand,
Yeah!
and the corpse drops.
Even though it's dropped, still just like a.
Don't hurt your hand.
You see as the magic leaves his frame, and he drops
we
to the
stomping
ground.
the king?
Mark bashes
man.
it
At least a little bit.
as it
I just
lifelessly
want to
hangs.
dance on top of him.
Okay. So
Yeah,
wait.
Mark can't help it. It's just
That is
assaulting
right.
this corpse.
You see
He's
Mark's
not a
just
strong
like,
fellow, but he's just
No,
absolutely.
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
You guys see Mark is just like beating on this corpse.
Okay.
Just let him do. He'll tire himself out.
So
Just let him
wait,
finish.
wait. So the king was Royalbane?
We.
That's really messed up.
It's pretty fucked up. That is pretty. Like you guys are like having big because you just revealed terrible things,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the two of us are like, that's kind of
That is
fucking
really
crazy.
messed up.
Crazy.
He's just a big old bad guy.
Yeah, that's a real bad guy.
Yeah, not the best guy.
guy.
We contain multitudes, but I am only seeing one tude. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I do.
Nice.
But yes, currently the the body that you're hitting, it's not giving you the emotional feedback you would hope for, as you know that spirit is gone. You know, it's like you're just like hitting this mass of flesh and bone.
Still the
that's-
first time I've ever physically seen my father. Like, you waited this long, you fucking asshole. So it's just a matter of, even if it's just like punching like a hunk of meat, it's still just.
Yeah, your knuckles start, growing sore, and there's blood coming from them as you just beat on this lifeless corpse, a corpse you have power over with magic now. It's like looking at this thing, and you kind of settle to, look around, you see, your allies are all recovering
Wait,
from
before
this.
he does that though, I
Yeah.
want to walk up to him and put my hand on his shoulder and say, I get it. Because I did the same thing with my big bad. I get it.
You feel the hand of Enra on your shoulder, Mark. What do you do?
Offer up at least father for everyone else if they want to take a swing.
You guys hit him. I just do a sec. Yeah, you see that, gesturing to the form.
It's like shades of Bruno, this is serpent, like having tantrums at the end. It's fucking dragons fucking hate you so much. Like just losing it, yeah, every time, very much.
Every time.
Then I'm okay. It's funnier if I just let him rot.
Can you at least? Oh, we're not limited on questions anymore. Yes. Can you at least ash a little bit of that cigarette on? right in the.
Oh yeah, here. You know what? Just for you. You may put it out on him if you like. Yeah, just put it. You
Buddy, we're all here for
yeah,
this.
yeah. And then put your lighter hot on his eyeball. There you go.
Takes one fire.
Yeah, take the cigarette and just right in the eyes. I can just. It's like a little.
Ash.
We're still keeping it preserved enough. Like, if we need the
just
body
a
of the
little
king
ash
as a
on
thing.
Yeah, we're not so worried about what he looks like.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we know things now.
We've still got the crown. I just lift the wig.
Yeah,
and
we got
that's,
the
the crown has been on my head, but the wig has been hiding.
Leos is like standing by the carriage, like.
What are they doing? What are they
Okay.
doing in there?
All right. Well, now that holy shit, that's a lot.
That was
just
a lot.
happened. That sucks.
Right?
That really sucks.
That sucks. All of that very much sucks. That sucks also.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks, guys.
That really things.
Man, you just never know how you start digging and then you find out stuff that you really didn't want to know about. You're like, fuck, what did I start? Yeah.
Better to know.
Yeah, I guess because you can deal with the known.
You can deal with the known. I like that.
Deal with the
That
known.
slaps, bro.
So high,
so deep.
Hey, Mark. I'm sorry, your dad is a dipshit.
Yeah.
So am I. Gosh. He's impacted all of our lives and, funny enough, brought us all together in one way or another. So he did one good thing.
What's that?
Yeah.
Old fucker.
Bringing us together.
Oh yes, we.
Yeah.
Furthering the helping committee so that we can now help fix his mistake, I guess.
It's interesting because he's the reason why everyone was getting along, right? And then he died and everyone went into chaos, when truth was he was making side deals and actually being the most
Trying to seek
deceptive.
immortality,
Yeah.
I believe. Is
And wanted to
what his
die the
goal
poor,
was.
innocent, assassinated king
Yeah.
while he was in the shadows already planning his next reign, essentially. But
Yeah, his people meant nothing to him, except for maybe a step towards his own personal goal. But he had everybody fooled, it seems.
Ah, so he was a king.
Not all kings need to be like that.
not all kings.
Hashtag not
You're right. They don't-
Hashtag not all kings.
Not
We
all
did
kings.
hates
Hashtag
kings. Happy 4th, everybody.
Future king Mark.
What's a king to? Go.
Not all kings make their countries go to work on federal holidays.
What's a king to?
I was more like mentioned because Mark might, I don't know. Mark's the son of a king. Maybe he'll.
You
I don't
son
know.
You son of a, you old son of a king.
You guys.
Son of a king.
Son of a king. All right, well.
Cool.
I am interested in speaking with Styx and
Yeah.
Davos. Likely Styx first, but if there's anything as far as this blight goes, that's going to sweep us before anything else will.
Didn't we get like a haggy vibe from Styx?
That was the hag that we found, right? And we followed. It was in her room.
Right. So if she's working with the hags already, then
I think she's plagued by, personally, I think she might be plagued by them.
Plague,
but I
guys,
don't know.
I'm not saying it's a thing. I'm just throwing it out there.
All
I think
right,
maybe. No, but
Oh, okay.
Should we try to visit her first?
Okay. This is his sister.
he just found that out like 5 seconds
Exactly.
ago.
So let's not start making it worse now.
Just a little tender.
I mean, we also have this king.
Do you want to?
This king that is
gonna,
like,
like,
currently
pee on your dad a
attacking us.
little
We
bit?
might want to, or this not the Lord, the Lord of the land.
Of the stags.
Yes, he's like currently nuts. I feel like that is pretty hag touched me.
Oh, Garant.
Oh, hag touched? He done been hag
He's
touched?
been touched.
Oh,
He
I
done
see.
been hag touched.
That boy
That
done been
boy-
hag touched.
That
You
boy
see?
done been hag touched.
You see what had happened with the boy was that he had been hag touched. You see?
Had been hag touched. You see. So when you've been touched by a hag, you ain't
Y'all.
going in the bag.
It's true times, y'all.
We did hates
boy
hags.
was
Happy
straight
4th,
up-
everybody.
Straight up hag touched.
Okay, so we also have the fact that O'Malley, right? Mr. O'Malley.
Mashed
Mashed potato.
Yes. Mike
might
O'Malley?
be making up this other guy, right? That we haven't seen.
Oh, like he's also in on
You know
it.
what I
Rax
think?
Royalbane.
I think that Mash O'Malley might be Rax Royalbane.
He even
Or
said he
was
would be.
the king
But
Rex
it was the
Royal Bane?
king.
What? Did we just figure that out and I missed it?
It's what he said. He said he might as well have. Had
He
the
said he
dagger
might
in his
as
hand.
well have.
But so was
And he said he
so,
built him. And so it's like, yes,
built him.
the
I'm a
notion
real
that,
boy.
like, again, what Elios was saying, where he was like, it's like the story of this person that I never strangely have encountered seemed to do something to unify Poolpay in some way. And by virtue of what the king had stated, it was a character he had made.
Yeah.
It was almost too big to even
And when he
exist.
died,
the
Rax
man who
disappeared.
won the crown from a game of cards.
Yeah.
But then did Mash know this? Did he lie to us? Did he
what
know
I
this
mean.
whole time?
Say, I feel like
He
he's
was
been
a
lying
big
to
ol'
us a
liar.
lot.
Even winning a kingdom with a game of cards is not nearly as exciting. I know a guy from a place that I am from where his name is Gary, and he almost died falling down the stairs
Oh my
a million
God.
times. That's just as exciting, and yet this guy won. Whatever. I feel like it's just too simple. You can't even we can't. That's like the biggest red flag for me.
You obviously don't struggle with gambling addiction.
Split's a really good game. Coming out next spring.
No, I have no
When the
addiction
fun
problems.
stops. We clearly have different vices. We enjoy helping people.
I like to help.
We do some crazy shit,
Okay.
but clearly have different vices.
You're all standing there kind of dealing with this like massive knowledge shift that has now occurred where you understand many of these harrowing details that you didn't know before. And Pickles, as you're kind of like listening, the little fur on your ear kind of starts perking up, and you hear this word that Mark recently spoke. It just starts echoing in your mind. A game of cards. A game of cards. A game of cards. A game of cards. You like look over, and at the side, in Mark's pouch, he has his deck of playing cards.
Oh, right, the ones he gives for people that are dead people for like an extra card for Divot.
That's right.
Yeah, because he knows who Divot is.
You see the box opens, and one card starts floating out.
Does everyone else do that too?
You look around, and everybody's frozen in place.
Oh my!
Oh man.
You see it's just floating in front of you. What do you do?
Don't do it.
All right, I get it. Pickles gets up and like just like steps across everyone's laps and takes the card, grabs
You see you
little
grab the card, and in a moment your head snaps back and you feel like you're flying through the dream weave, like in between where dreams exist and don't. And you see as the world in front of you starts peeling to the right, like it did when you stood before and peered into that strange bar. You watch reality kind of start peeling away, and once again you see the shuttered doors of the strange bar in the void place. You see the Cuddle Forged banging against the door. You look off and see the blight creeping in the horizon. You see this man in a shadowed robe turns and looks at you like one would look at a child. Suddenly you're pulled right past them through the door. You find yourself sitting at a table. The card drops and you look up and there's this red masked figure holding a shot glass full of blood.
Goosies.
He slams it down and throws his card down. And that's where we're gonna pick it up next time, guys!
Oh my god!
I still got the goosies.
I got emotional.
Dude, there's the thing that happens.
I was like, "Chaboy!"
Yeah, bro. That's the thing about the prologue. You're just like, those guys. All right. So yes, Pickles, you have been pulled into the domain of Divot the Death Dealer. You're
Is
now
that
sitting
card
at a table.
relevant?
What's that?
It was just a random card, but is that relevant?
Well, I mean now, yeah, obviously.
Whoa. Now.
And so yes, in this moment, you find yourself in the bar in the void place where the weave of death is seemingly strangely affected these days. You all are still standing where you were in that moment. And that's where we're going to pick it up next time, guys. So it's Holy crap!
Yowza.
Happy 4th! All the
Happy
booms are
4th.
still going. Like these, it is insane. Give that money to Weed&d.
Yeah.
Instead of the
Quit spending
instead of all the chemicals
thousands
and
of dollars
stuff.
on illegal fireworks.
It is awesome, guys. And I love playing D&D with you guys. I was like I would say like it's just I get to play too. Like it's just like a ride to ride these things with you. As any DM that's listening or watching will know, that is like every DM's dream. Is like, yeah, just keep asking me questions about the lore, and like I'll give you answers
Right.
and stuff. But so hopefully some of these, many threads are starting to kind of focus in their direction. Lots of stuff kind of still going on, but now you kind of understand perhaps some of the instigating factors that led to that. So thank you guys. Thanks to the buds for all the amazing support.
yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for all the new followers. I see your boy Heavy T. Your boy Heavy T. I see up there. I saw a couple other like new first-time watchers. Tyler, he lives over there.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Good to
Yeah,
see you
he
in
does.
here, man. Happy 4th. He's hearing the same fireworks. Isn't that? There's a lesson
Isn't
in there.
that bonkers?
Beautiful.
Tom's Munch seeing director dude. Thank you guys. We fucking love you so much.
yeah.
Thanks for hanging with us. We are gonna raid before we. I just been saying it now because I always forget. And also a belated to Drew and
America, man.
and America. Just remember, guys, we hate hags
We hate hags.
and we hate kings.
We hate hags.
Ain't nobody
hate
trying to get hag
bagging.
touched up in here, y'all.
Don't get hag touched, guys.
Hashtag-
Let that be. If you take anything,
If you take
Hashtag
anything
hag touch.
away,
turn away
rich.
from the hag touch.
Yeah.
Dirty.
do
Good
a
to
dope
see you.
moment off and don't get touched.
Thank
by
you,
it.
guys.
Moment off. Nice.
Don't moment off.
Thanks to you guys. You're the best. Thanks to our studio team, Sean and Steph, holding it down. Guys, I can't wait to get back here next Tuesday. So we will see you then. I freaking love you guys. I love y'all. Play D&D. Do something creative and
Yeah.
love thyself.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a raid. Hang with us. We'll see you next Tuesday. Two. Lighters up.
Oh, yeah. Ha! So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.
Lighters. Wait. Lighters.
We do ourselves
Hold on.
virtual weed. Lighters up.
Lighters. Good for household pets.
We didn't forget.
Lighters up.
Tradition.
Lighters.
This is a great one. I must have stolen it.
Household pets.
That's right. Lighters up. We love you so much. Night, Sam.